Hello everyone, welcome to the MindTour Gaming stream. Tonight we're going to continue our adventure in Faerun with our wayward adventurers here. One of which is currently MIA, but should show up rather soon. For now, we're going to continue on where we left off. Any insights into what's going on as far as your characters or the people you've met so far or anything like that from players? Do you have any comments or ideas of what's going on? Not, we'll just continue. All right, continue on. So you, yeah, they said hello. Yes. You unfortunately didn't see the creature that was appeared that attacked Corvin um, in right inside of your camp. Um, Perhaps there was something more happening behind the scenes that caused that, even though Alokian does have that vision to see beyond through the twilight. But beyond that, Belkin, I think you had something to say about our adventures so far.
They seem like a good group, but Belkin really wants to join that dancing party.
Well, as you're entering the city, the dance is still going on while the sun is setting in the west. So, the rain is getting heavier, so the air is a good bit colder, um, even though it's sometime in the summer. Um, let's see. Any other comments or anything before we continue on?
Good.
All right.
Yeah.
Kaz's vision of what's transpiring before him. I enjoy the late night chats that Kaz is having with our lovely prisoner.
I don't know what you're talking about. I've been watching over the prisoner and making sure she doesn't do anything crazy or stupid so we can get her back to the prison alive.
Awesome. So, well, with that, we'll go ahead and set the stage back into Theraloon. The evening quickly approaches. As I said, the sun is setting in the west, just beyond the mountains of Cormyr and Symbia. Theraloon is fairly southern inside of Symbia, southwest to be precise, near the Cormyrian line. You have probably another day or so travel before you actually get into Cormyr's territory. But currently, Theraloon is hailed by rain, heavy rainfall that echoes across metal armor, the wooden caravan that's slowly trotting into Theraloon proper. Inside, as you pass the guard post and the open gates, you can see a number of individuals moving in and about Theraloon, perhaps going home or heading to a pub for the late night scene here in Theraloon. A lot of heavy cloaks pulled overhead, obviously because of the rain. So many of their features are covered, but you can see a number of humans, mostly human, walking in and about the streets as Zan pulls slowly the caravan into the city. Somewhat towards the left of the main road you're currently going down, you can see the towering spires of what you were told was a temple to Sune, as the guards had spoken to you earlier on. The main road here is very well maintained, cobblestone road that has a number of winding paths that lead off of it. Most of them are also cobbled, but very few are dirt. And probably a few hundred yards ahead, the main road kind of takes a hard 90-degree turn, where you can see what looks like maybe a park or something up on the right side of that. That the road turns away from. The rest of the city is a number of 2 or 3-story buildings that looks fairly well maintained, but also old in their construction. But Zan looks to the group of you and says, "We're going to continue on. Keep your eyes out. Make sure the prisoner is okay, if you know what I mean." As the group of you have already dropped the canvas sides and strapped them down to keep her kind of hidden within. You hear some shifting of chains as you move into the city. As Alokian, you are paying attention to her. She's trying to peer out of some of the cracks between the canvas to see where you are and what may be going on in and around the area. And then,
As she tries to peer through like certain cracks and stuff, if I see her doing it, I'll just like bang on the side of it with my warhammer.
Okay.
Just to try and keep her like back, like
she does back away when you do that. A loud bang bang coming from slightly muted because of the thick canvas on the outside of the bars, but she does pull away. And a moment later, she'll try to peer from another side, away from you. But with that, Zayn moves the cart along through the city. You can see a lot of the people are going from wherever that 90-degree is and back into the city proper, in the direction that you're going from. So a few people are going towards that direction, but most of the traffic is coming away from wherever the road continues on, deeper into the city. After a few moments, as Zan is traversing the crowded streets, trying not to run over anyone with the caravan, he does tell a few people, "Come on, move out the way," from time to time. Probably calling out to Corvin, "Clear the road so we can move on." And surely Corvin does. After a few moments, you can see a smaller stone wall on the left side that's just outside of whatever this tall spire temple is. And it's a fairly low wall compared to the 500 feet curtain walls that surround this city. But it's very ornate, it's very beautiful in its construction, and does have a beautiful wrought iron gate that also leads in to what looks like some sort of courtyard, well manicured bushes and brush and flowers. A lot of money has gone into maintaining this place and this temple and its beauty as well. You can see on the inside there are a few of the city guard, spears in hand, blue sashes kind of crossing their chest, metal helmets, and they stand vigilant just in the grounds in like a few gazebos that are within that area. And you can see over the low wall, especially anyone that's tall like you, Alokian. The wall's probably only about 6 feet tall. It's more for looks rather than keeping anyone out. And the front of the temple is very ornate as well. A lot of vines growing up, but not chaotic. It's very manicured to the point where possibly someone's gone out there and meticulously helped the vines grow up the side of the wall, where you can see swirling designs. It's a very beautiful sight. You can see a number of 3 in total. Females that are currently on the outside of this temple, within a gazebo, looking as if they're having dinner or something in one of those areas. And then beyond that, a moment later, from the crowd of people that's moving in and about the area, all of you hear, "Mister, Mister, where are you heading?" And a young boy with curly, reddish brown hair that's kind of matted across his face. He does have a small cloak that's kind of torn and tattered, and beneath you can kind of see some raggedy clothes that he has. And he's approaching Zan in the cart. He says, "Do you need a guide, mister?" And Zan looks down to him and smiles. And Corvin probably begins to move in that direction, and Zan puts his hand up. "It's okay." "Yes, little one. Sure. How do we get through this place without having to deal with all these people?" "Oh, mister, this place is like a maze. But surely, if you're willing to pay, we can get you through here." And the kid kind of looks towards the rest of the group, and he looks under the cart and at the direction where Alokian was. Alokian's standing. "But who's your large friend?" And Zan looks over to Alokian. "Why don't you introduce yourself?"
I am a Lokian, child.
You can see that he's not wearing any shoes. For most of the people here in this, especially in this heavily trafficked area, people don't seem like they're very poor, right? Probably middle class. This kid looks like he's slumming it. Most of his clothing is stained with dirt, especially his feet, hands, nails, not manicured. But he says, "Well, I can get you through the city, mister." But he looks down at his hand and raises it towards Zan. Zan nods. "Very well, kid." He reaches over and pulls out a few coins and hands it over. Anyone with a fairly decent perception, you can see actually hands the kid 2 gold coins. The kid's eyes widen brightly, and he's like, "Oh, mister, we'll make sure we get you through right quick. Follow me." And Zan nods and motions Corvin to follow the kid and lead the way through the crowd. The kid begins to lead down the road, unless anyone else wishes to do anything.
Yeah.
Are we walking down like a business section of?
It looks like the main street that goes through the town, and through the city.
Is there any food stalls or anything of that sort?
You don't see any stalls yet, because where you are, basically on the main thoroughfare that's here, it's basically just buildings right next to it.
Hmm.
So you can fit, but the street here is fairly wide. It's about 25 feet wide, so it's enough room and space to get a number of carts in and out the area that passes through, because the main part of the Way of the Manticore actually goes through this city.
Are
So
we are we passing by a lot of upper class people?
you do see a number of upper class people that are moving in and out of the area. Most of them are heading in your direction and going down other smaller streets.
While we walk by them, I would like to transfer some coinage from their purse into the little boy's pocket.
Okay. Go ahead and
I will assist in that endeavor.
okay. So you're gonna begin pilfering some of the people in and around the street, pickpocketing them and putting the coin into the kid's pocket.
Yes.
All right. Well, if you assist them, go ahead and roll with advantage as Kaz probably distracts a number of individuals. Kaz, how do you distract some of these people?
So probably walk up to the first noble I can see, and it's clear I don't look like I'm from around here at all, but I
Wow,
am
that sucks.
well dressed. And I'll ask them, you have directions out of town?
Okay. So you approach a couple that looks very well off. So, what did
I
you
rolled
roll?
a 10. A 10,
Did you roll with advantage?
yes,
And you rolled a 10?
twice.
Alright. Alright, as you approach this couple, and with Kaz's help, try to pilfer a few coin from probably a purse or a pocket. Kaz, you approach them and you ask them the way out. They're wearing heavy, very well-made purple cloaks that's pulled overhead, golden trim in and around the edges of it. You can also see a number of small arcane runes down the front opening of the cloak itself, and you can see that now that you're right in front of them, their cloak, as the water does hit it, it's just displaced, and there's no moisture clinging to their clothing. But they turn and motion towards where the road turns that 90 degrees to the left, or towards the western part of the city. If you continue on that direction, it'll lead you out of here.
Thank you very much.
Belkin,
Mm.
you're able to actually pilfer 3 gold pieces from these
Oh.
individuals before they turn and look at you as you bump into them, as you normally would sometimes, to take coin. Excuse yourself.
Oh, excuse me. Oh, my apologies.
Watch where you're going, the man says.
I'd like to grab Belkin by his cloak.
Mhm.
Seriously, think you'd have manners? And then
So
shove
sorry,
him.
sir. And I'll start running, book it
Okay.
towards towards the
Kaz,
boy.
go ahead and roll a deception check as you're kind of tossing Belkin aside. And Belkin, are you going to give in to his deception as he's trying to?
Yeah,
All right, so go
yeah.
ahead and roll at advantage.
Yeah, I'll definitely go on with it for
Okay.
sure.
Yeah, what was that?
You're like, roll with advantage. I'm like, good. Oh, even better. 5 and a 4.
So good, so good.
The couple eye you
Amazing.
for a moment and then seem to just study you for a second, and then the man takes the woman by the arm. Let's go quickly. And they hurry off.
Can we just go over that? He rolled a 4 and a 5. I rolled a 1. My halfling luck kicked in. I rolled a 2, and then I rolled a second 2.
Oh my goodness.
Our plan is going so smoothly right now.
Tonight's
And
rolls are...
freaking incredible.
I'm excited.
Stutter my way through. You think you'd have manners?
Alright. They're telling me that Belkin's a little loud, so I'm going to turn you down a little bit.
I'm sorry about that.
No, you're fine.
I'm usually loud.
That's
You're
fine.
You're just making your presence known.
We love it.
Okay. Fine.
Alright, hopefully that's better, guys. Let me know. Otherwise, yeah, so the group of you, the 2 of you are able to pilfer a few gold pieces. And do you give it to the child, or you try to put it in his pocket?
I try to put it in your pocket.
Okay, go ahead and make a sleight of hand check as you walk over to the child.
Hopefully I do better than I did. 23. There we go.
All right.
There we go.
The child only has one pocket in his pants leg that you're able to put it in, but you do put it in there without him even noticing. Well, yeah, without him even noticing. As he turns around and looks at you. Are you with them, mister?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Well, this way. Hurry along. And he walks past the temple grounds. And there's a smaller road, about 10 or 12 feet wide, before the main road turns. You're probably still a few hundred feet before that main road turns, but now that you're deeper in, you can see on the right side there is a pretty well maintained park here as well. You see a number of flowering bushes, large, beautiful manicured trees. This place does seem to put a lot of effort into keeping its aesthetic very pleasing. Whether that's because of the temple here or not, you're not sure, but the kid leads you off onto a smaller road that goes down to the left a few hundred feet before the main road turns left as well.
Before we head down that road, do I get any sense from this child that there's nervousness about him, or uncertainty, or deviousness?
Go ahead and roll an insight check. Belkin, what's your passive perception?
My passive is that's 10 plus your wisdom, right? Or wisdom modifier?
Yeah, wisdom.
Yeah, that is 11.
11? Okay.
Yeah.
What was your insight?
All for insight.
12? He seems to be sincere to make some coin and getting you to where he thinks is the best way through the city. Belkin, you do notice one of the path that he's actually taken, the road that he begins to lead you down. There is a strange marking on the side, like the corner stone of the building that's directly to the right down that road. And you see the sign in Thieves' Cant say for the Waywards, and has an arrow pointing that way.
Hey boy, do you know, have you seen this marking before?
He turns around and looks at what you're talking about. Yes, mister, I've seen that before.
Do you know what it means?
I've seen it quite a few times, but it's all over where I live.
Insight? Can I do an insight check?
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
If you mind.
Absolutely.
Oh crap! I pressed the wrong button. I'm big old dummy. Anyway, insight. Oh, I'm not very good at that. Yeah, fuck it. Nope. Okay. I rolled a 3.
Nice.
But I'm getting all the bad rolls out of the way first.
You're just gonna go ahead and get them out?
Yep.
We
I
are
gotta get it out
trusting this kid
on
so
my
much.
system. But I do know that it reads it says Waywards, right?
Yep. The Way of the Waywards.
Right away.
Also, the main street here that you're turning off of is part of Way of the Manicore, but it's also, for the city's sake, where they name it, it's called the Street of the Dragon. And the road that you currently turn down is Sovereign Street. But yeah, he seems to be telling you the truth, and there doesn't seem to be any deception behind what he's doing.
Uh, child. So, if I said way of the waywards, you would know what that means?
The Waywest, mister? Um,
Yes.
that's some people that live where I live.
Are they good people?
I mean, they feed us.
Alright. Sound good to me.
Anything else, mister, you need to know?
No, you're doing fine, son.
All right, all right. And the street that he's turning down, you can see there's a few people walking in and out of this area, but it's definitely not as packed as the main road that you're going down. 1 second. Okay. You can also see further down the road now that he's turned left, and the group of you begin to go down the street. Down Sovereign Street. At the end of the road, it looks like it opens up, and there it meets the main road again. But and this is probably a couple hundred yards away down the road. You see a number of other roads and paths breaking off of this street as well. It looks like this is a lesser street than the Street of the Dragon, but still fairly well maintained. But it looks like it opens up into a market further down. You see a number of small stalls. Most of them, I guess for those of you with a decent wisdom score perception check, most of them look like they're closed or currently closing due to the evening and possibly the rain. It's now starting to get dark. You can see a number of lights inside of some of the buildings and houses here, lighting up lanterns, a few people walking with torches. That's dimmer than usual, probably because of the rain. But here on this street, like I said, it's not as crowded, so you can make your way through the Sovereign Street rather quickly compared to what you were just traversing through the main part of the city. As you are walking down the street, you can see from time to time you see some of the buildings look less maintained, and in those alleys you can see a few people just sitting outside, just over overhangs, makeshift pole barns that come off of side of buildings. You do see some bedrolls there, even just piles of hay in this area. A lot of younger children here, a lot of younger humans that are in and about these alleys that break off of Sovereign Street. The child looks back to you as you're probably about halfway through down the road. Mister, is there any other place you want beyond just to leave? He looks over to you because he's leading you, Corvin, and he asks you that.
I do not think so, and I'll kind of look back to Zan and see if anything comes to mind.
Zan just kind of shrugs and shakes his head. There's nothing
No,
that I think we need.
No, I think it'd be best if we just head on out of the city.
All right, mister. And he pushes forward. What's that?
I'd like to just keep an eye out to make sure that I know it's less crowded here. Just to keep an eye out and make sure that no one's coming within our vicinity.
Okay,
We're
I mean,
keeping a relative
there's
distance as best as can.
Yeah, there's a few people that pass you, but no one like coming to bump into you or anything weird like that.
Right.
You do have a number of people that watch you walk past.
It's fine.
Especially you have this large caravan going down the street. Up ahead, you also see a black banner that is hanging off a wrought iron spike that's coming off the side of one of these buildings, and you can see it says Black Banner Inn. And the group of you, especially those that have a decent perception, can hear a lot of banter, a lot of voices, cheering, yelling, jovialness coming from within this 3-story building. But the kid continues on, if no one does anything, and passes the black banner in. And as you do pass, you can see the place is packed. Large tables on the inside, a lot of cards being played, a lot of dice being played, a lot of gambling going on in that place. But you also see a lot of wine being handed out all over.
Corvin would probably look at it longingly, but then kind of turn away and keep moving forward.
It definitely is bright inside, with firelight, and seems like a wonderful place to stop. But if you continue on, Zan does as well.
We'll continue on very sorrowfully.
Through the rain.
And just to confirm, the objective here is we're bringing the prisoner where she needs to be dropped off.
Yes. Yep.
Okay, yeah.
You have to drop her off
yeah.
in order to get the bounty for her.
Yeah. And this is the town where we're dropping her off.
No.
Or we're just passing through.
You're just passing through this city. You have another about 4 days trek, at least, depending on how fast you go. So on average, about 4 days to get to Wayloon Prison.
And it's getting dark.
It is dark at this point.
So
it's raining heavy. It's dark. You guys are probably miserable. But you continue on.
I think a Lokian might pop up from the back with the prisoner. With the rain and the dark, perhaps this is a good spot to rest for tonight.
Well, someone's gonna have to stay outside and watch her anyways.
You can take shifts as always.
I am happy to keep watch majority of the night.
Corvin will look to Zan. What do you think?
Zan's kind of biting his lip. He seems, he doesn't seem happy to want to stop here currently. Well, if
You're the boss.
If you do want to stop
Make
here,
the decision.
he looks to the group of you. If all of you collectively do want to stop, then who am I to say? And he looks back to the where the prisoner is, and he kind of sighs. Obviously, I'll stay in the caravan, but having another set of eyes out here from time to time wouldn't be bad. I know we all deserve to rest, but Corvin, you know that he doesn't like to rest until the job is done, and he rests in parties and everything afterwards.
That's kind of Corvin has taken on that mentality for sure too. He kind of is on the fence about it too. Belkin, what do you think?
If we gotta make camp soon anyway, why not make camp here with luxuries and not rough it in the wilderness?
A lot less eyes in the wilderness than in the city.
Less humanized, for sure.
Yes. Especially in a place like this where the bounty may have traveled this far. He
But
says in a
Don,
lower tone as he's looking around to make sure nobody's watching.
But there might be more wild eyes that we might not expect.
I'd rather personally deal with the creatures in the wilderness than this place, but do you want to stop for a drink at least then?
You read my mind, then.
Let them enjoy for just a moment. I will stay in the caravan with you. I do not partake in such activities.
Fair surprise.
If you
Even
are
a hot
waiting
meal.
here.
They can bring me a hot meal.
Zan nods. They can bring us both hot meals and pay for it as well.
Sounds fair.
Well, someone will pay for it. I grin.
Zan kind of laughs. And he pulls the cart to the side of the road, not blocking any alley or anything, and any entrance to a door to a building. Just enough space there. And he hops on down, puts the blocks under the wheels, and begins to tend to the horses, making sure they're okay, and doesn't unstrap them both at the same time, but does unstrap one at a time and begins to just let them walk without their barding and stuff connected to them. And he looks to the group of you. Have your fun. We'll give you a few hours.
Look over at Balkan and nod.
And I'm in. Yeah.
Perhaps we could do better this time, huh?
Yeah, maybe we should start like a playbook for more coordination.
I'm not opposed.
I appreciate the help, though.
All right. So who is going into the Black Banner Inn? Okay. And Belkin, of course.
Mm-hmm.
I think Corvin will go in and buy 3 meals, basically, to go,
Okay.
and he will take them back outside to. Actually, he'll buy 4 meals to go.
Okay.
Take them out back outside to Loki and Zan and the boy.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, the boy is waiting there with you guys.
Oh,
You've paid him
right,
enough
right.
to keep him well off for a while. So.
Yeah, he got 5 gold in total today, I think. 2 from Van and 3 from me.
Yep.
Yeah,
Good for a couple of months at least.
yeah, man.
I would like to be sitting with the boy, like in the caravan,
Okay.
and questioning him about like his living
Oh,
situation and how he ended up this way.
All right. So let's go ahead and let's introduce the inn first to the group that's going inside,
yeah.
and then we'll go to
Sure.
that. So, the 3 of you approach the Black Banner Inn. On the outside, it looks fairly like every other building here. Well, most of the buildings here, well maintained, 3-story building. Beyond the banner that's hanging off the side of it. You go to the wooden door and open it up. You see a number of people on the inside filling this space. Like I said, large tables. A lot of people are standing, rolling dice, or sitting, playing cards, depending on which table they're at. There are a number of individuals that are actually running these games, taking bets. You can see on the side as you enter, there is a blackboard that has chalk writing on different bets and odds for winning on different card games or dice games. In the back, you do see a very long bar that is black in color. It looks like it's probably made out of some iron or steel, with what looks to be right behind it, where all the shelves of alcohol sit, a large gauntlet hand that's kind of curled up and over where with all the shelving on the inside, as that has the valuable bottles of wine. There are other kegs kind of pushed into certain places on the walls, but that seems to be the centerpiece of this place in this establishment. A lot of the people here that are in this place, they have their cloaks probably pulled back or off, laying on a chair. There's a wall just to your right as you enter, with a number of cloaks hanging from the wall there. And there's an individual standing there, a human male, that has well-kept, slicked back black hair, sort of small, thin mustache. His attire is also black and gray and has a bow tie pulled tight. "Good afternoon, gentlemen," he says as the three of you enter. Most of the people here seem well off as far as their attire goes. Their appearance is of wealth. And he says, "May I take your, if you are wearing coat or cloak, may I take your cloaks?"
No.
Oh, thank you.
Very
Yeah.
good.
Not wearing one. Thank you, though.
Enjoy your
Corbin-
evening. And he
Corbin-
seems to go ahead. Go ahead.
I was gonna say he would keep his hood up, kind of trying to cover his face, just
Okay.
so. I
He
get some
seems to
nitty-gritty.
eye each one of you up and down individually, probably silently judging you.
Yes.
But then,
I would
but
most
then
definitely
motions.
have my hood up and my hair covering most of my face.
Okay. Let's see. Yep. Silently judging you, and he motions towards the bar. "Enjoy your evening."
Thank you.
You do see a number of people waiting on the different tables. The people that are, especially that are playing the games, because there are a few tables just for dining or drinking, but most of them, there's games running in here. A lot of the paneling in here the wood is exquisite. There are a few other smaller booths that have hanging cloths that look like darker, gloomier private areas, with candles lit on the tables. Some of them have a few individuals inside, but others are empty and open. What do you do?
So Corvin would go right up to the bar,
Okay.
and ask a barkeep, 4 meals.
There's a
In-
lady behind the bar that is wearing a similar fine attire to the man that introduced himself to you. Only hers is more of a dress that has a frilly neck piece that kind of spills out before her, and she has long, blonde, curly hair. What is it you want to have?
4 meals, whatever you might be serving tonight.
She gets distracted as another individual says, "Another wine, my lady." And you look over, and there's another individual there, seeming probably, especially for you, Kaz, noble, as he's dressed in similar attire to some of the individuals you met earlier and pilfered from, that has a fine purple cloak, arcane markings down the golden trim. The hood's pulled back. Beneath, you do see there is some sort of armor that the individual's wearing, leather armor that's dyed a deep purple as well, that has gold filigree all across it. There's a dagger in his belt as he's sliding a few gold pieces towards the barkeep. And she nods and looks back to you, Corvin. "Yes, one moment." And she goes and quickly refills his glass with a bottle from the Black Gauntlet.
When she returns with the glass, before he takes it, I'd like to take it from him.
Okay. Use Mage Hand.
No.
Okay. You
Hold
just gotta
on.
go over and grab it?
Staring at him, take his wine and drink it.
Okay. So the both of you see Kaz walk over as she's setting down the wine. The individual moves out to grab it. Go ahead and go ahead and make just a dexterity check to see, or sleight of hand, whatever one you want, to see if you can just grab it quickly before he does, without him.
19.
19. So yeah, before he even puts a finger on the glass. It's in your hand and to your lips. And mouth open and astonished for a second, he turns and looks at you. Excuse me? And who are you?
It is only courteous, my good sir, to wait your turn. Consider this a small price to pay.
Corvin has his fingers on his bridge of his nose.
You can see the barkeep. Also, her mouth is open, and the man stands up and goes to backhand you. So let's see.
Can I grab his hand?
Roll initiative.
Okay.
We'll do a minor initiative here,
Okay.
just to see how quickly things unfold.
What?
Oof. Oh yeah, I'm taking the backhand. I don't mind.
You're taking the backhand. All right, let's see.
Maybe
here.
he'll roll lower. You never know.
All right. Yeah, Corvin. Before you're able to reach out, you see his hand come up, and he does react before you do. Okay. You take 1 point of non-lethal damage, Kaz, as his hand slaps you across the face. The glass goes spilling onto the floor and shatters. And he says, "Mind your manners and find your place. It looks as though you've been traveling the wilderness."
Oh, that is unfortunate. Now neither of us get to enjoy the wine.
At that point, I would, instead of grabbing his hand, I was just gonna grab him on the shoulder and pull him back, and holding my great sword in my left hand, so like not unsheathed, but like I almost always.
You're
hold it to
grabbing
the side.
Kaz, or you're grabbing the gentleman?
The gentleman, and and I'm gonna grab him and kind of pull him back, and I'm gonna say, "I think you need to find your place. Move along."
The barkeep.
And then
the barkeep walks up as well and puts her hands up. No, please stop! And looking right at you, Corvin. You don't want to do this.
Oh,
right.
I'll put my hand on Corvin's shoulder and say, "Simple misunderstanding. I think we're all good here."
And she's already filling up another glass, sliding it in front of the man. Go ahead and roll a persuasion check to see if this gentleman will press anything further.
Am I rolling that?
Both of you can, or you can give, depending on what you want to say to him.
Because I basically just said I think you need to move along and kind of get over it.
Well, if you want to roll intimidate, you can. Instead.
You rolled a 21 on persuasion.
They're the same stat.
They're the same stat. So I'll allow that to be for your intimidation, to tell him to move along, as you kind of motion towards your weapon, and he looks to you, and he nods to you, Kaz, in agreement, and then begins to step away. He waves off the drink and then storms out.
And then I will turn to the bar.
Can I try to pick his pocket?
Go ahead, make a sleight of hand.
Oh my gosh!
I hate this guy so much.
I hate this guy so much. He didn't even do anything yet.
Are you kidding me? Ooh, that's a 5.
As he's walking past you, you try to reach out and to see if you can pilfer something from him, but his hand quickly slaps yours away. "Don't touch me again, wretch!" And he walks out, or walks towards the door.
Chuckle. Right. It's 1 down.
All right.
I will.
That's 1 down.
Turn to the barkeep and get my food as quickly as I can.
Her mouth is still open and looks.
I'm very sorry about that.
You need to get your food and get out of here.
That's what I'm trying to do. I was trying to do that before.
I'll be right back.
Thank you.
It'll be 8 silver. 8 silver. And she walks into the back room. As she does walk open the back door into a kitchen. "Kiddos, good night." There's a waft of beautifully roasted meats and vegetables and sweets. It just smells amazing coming from inside. She walks into the back. At our caravan, the kid walks over to one of the overhangs nearby and stays out the rain for a bit as he's just silently watching you guys and looking towards the inn.
So Lokian comes and sits next to him. What is your name, child?
Mister, I'm Job.
Job.
Who are you?
I am a Lokian.
Lokian. What are you, mister?
I am a furbolg. Have you heard of furbolgs before?
No. Where do furbolgs come from?
We come from far away.
As
but
you're there close to him, you do see he's missing a few teeth. So he's still probably late 8 years old, maybe 9.
Where
Far
are your
away.
parents?
Well, my mom, I'm not sure, but Dad died a long time ago.
So where do you stay?
And he kind of shrugs and looks around.
On the streets?
Wherever I can, mister.
Does anyone look after you?
But yeah, the Waywards help.
The Waywards?
Yeah, mister.
And who are they?
I don't, you know, people that help us on these streets. They they tend to stay away from. Good night. They tend to stay away from the main road.
So these people, they're secretive.
Yeah, most time, mister.
And
Very
they're
hard,
good to
very
you?
hard to see. I'll be like that one day too.
Are they good to you?
Yeah, mister. We hungry. We go to the Wayward, and we eat.
And when you say we, there's other children like you?
Some, yeah.
Have you ever perhaps tried to seek shelter at the church?
Which church?
Which churches do you have?
Well, there's the really big, pretty one. They don't let us go in there. But sometimes they help, come down here and give us flowers or, that sort of thing. But there's also the one, he motions down the road further. They say it's a temple, but they make stuff there.
Make things like what?
Like, horseshoes and weapons and armor.
Okay.
The Mighty Fist is what it's called, mister.
The Mighty Fist.
Yeah, they talk about that guy without, well, not that guy. Sorry, he kind of looks up in the air. Sorry, guy. God. What's his name? Tyr?
Yes, Tyr.
He's the handless one, or the one hand.
And have you ever seen this symbol before? And I'll show him the amulet that has the symbol of Ilmater.
He kind of looks at it and studies it. No, I don't think so, mister. Is that another guy? I mean, God? He kind of, sorry, he looks up in the air.
It is indeed. Well, I'm happy to hear that these Waywards are treating you well and keeping you safe.
Yeah,
And others too.
I think they were like us, but a long time ago.
They don't make you do things to hurt other people, correct?
Oh, I don't hurt nobody, mister.
Great. Well, hopefully the money that you've earned tonight can help you help the others as well.
Oh,
Maybe get some
it
food
would definitely
for
help
them.
us all. For a good long while. I have, Jonesy, and he begins to just list off a number of friends that he has. And yeah, mister, we like to hang out in the park a lot, but sometimes we get run off by the guards.
Yes, they'll do that, but you continue to help your friends, you understand me?
Oh, yeah.
And never hurt other people.
Never? Even if they're trying to
If
hurt
you-
our friends? Mister, you not hurt people?
Only those deserving.
How you know when they deserve it?
Well, if they're mean to other people.
So just if they're mean, they deserve it. And at this time, you see the door to the inn just slam open as a very well-dressed individual comes storming out, pulling his hood over his head. He kind of turns around and grunts to himself and then just closes the door and begins to walk down the road, the direction the group of you came from, past your caravan.
Nothing strange about him?
Beyond wearing, fine attire, he just looks... Roll an insight check.
Okay. 16.
This individual seems very angry, very pissed off as he's storming out of this building. Almost, you get the sense that, there's an air of vindictiveness to his nature as he's storming out and glaring on the inside of the building. His hand is on his dagger, but he continues on.
If he continues on, I just continue talking to the boy.
That man seems mad.
Yes, well,
Never ask them for
I'm,
anything. They'll kick you in the dirt.
stay far away from those types of people.
I try, all the time.
Good. I have a feeling that maybe my companions had something to do with his mood.
You hear Zan kind of chuckle from the caravan.
That's probably where I would end the conversation.
He does ask you, so what's your guy do? I mean, God, sorry.
My God. He, well, he just makes sure that people like me exist to help people like you.
So how you gonna help me, mister?
Well, I provided you some wisdom tonight, and we provided you a little bit of gold to make sure that you can stay warm and fed.
Oh, that was your
If we-
gold he gave me?
Yes.
Roll a deception check against the kid. Yes.
15.
Oh,
The kid kind of eyes you questionably for a few moments and then just kind of shrugs. Well, it's a
what
lot
a man
anyway.
of guy you are.
It's a lot anyway, mister.
Put it to good use, Job.
So, I'm just wondering, we were talking about it, but that angry guy came out. How do I know if they deserve it? You said mean. There's a lot of mean people, but how mean do they gotta be?
If people are causing you physical violence, if they are making you or your loved ones suffer, then they too deserve to suffer.
You see him thinking about your words deeply, best he can. It doesn't seem like he has a lot of questions, so there's a lot of unanswered things for him.
Naturally.
Yeah. So he nods. All right.
Just remember, Joe, that words are just words. They can't hurt you.
You know, one time I saw this guy say something, and the other guy just fell on the ground, like burning.
My words hurt.
So, I mean, sometimes words do hurt.
Yes, okay, I take that back. Sometimes words do hurt, but only because they are casting magical things that hurt.
Yeah, they were arguing about, I don't remember.
Do you know how magic works, Job?
No, I know there's magic, but I don't study magic.
I was talking about when people are just talking. If they say mean things to you, that's not enough to justify. Do you understand now?
Okay, so if they say mean things that burn you, it's alright.
No.
No.
No. If they say mean things that don't hurt you physically, then just let it be. But if they are saying mean things that do physically hurt you, then don't let that be. Do you get it now?
Yeah, I think so. I got it.
Okay, I'm a bit confused myself.
Got it.
Alright, we'll switch over to the three individuals that are inside. You wait there for some time, and your food comes out. The tender there, she approaches you and with 4 plates. She makes 2 trips. The plates are full of what looks like some sort of roasted turkey legs with a smattering of chopped up carrots that has some sort of probably sugary coating over the top of it that's melted in butter, and a little bit of rice, and she sets them out before you. You had to get, if you had to guess, you can look at the other individuals in this place. She's bringing out just some old wooden platters for the 4 dinners that she's giving you. You can see some of the other individuals here have actually fine china that they're using. So comparative, she's just bringing out probably the lowest of the low what she has.
Is she doing that because I said I wanted it to go, or is she doing that because what I've done?
You could roll an insight check. See.
9.
You're not quite sure.
Okay, I will put.
Do you want to? Oops, sorry. Go ahead.
Begrudgingly, I will put 3 gold on the counter and scoot her over to you for your trouble. Then I will take the plates.
She perks up a bit and says, "Thank you very much. We appreciate your patronage."
Mm-hmm. And then I'll walk away.
Okay.
I'll walk outside.
All right.
I'll slide 2 gold across the counter and say, "Wine, and my apologies. I've been told I have issues with entitled behavior."
Okay. As you slide the gold over, and say wine, she immediately grabs a bottle and begins to fill it, a glass, and moves it over to you as she's listening to what you have to say. She nods. I understand, but you just... She looks around and whispers, "You have to be careful here. A lot of the more wealthy off individuals come here to gamble, and those you really don't want to mess with. I wouldn't be surprised if he comes back."
I do appreciate your concern.
She
For
takes...
his sake, I do hope he does not return.
She takes the gold and slides it in beneath the bar, behind the bar, and nods. Hopefully not. We don't need that kind of rep around here.
Understood.
As it is,
Take
we're on
the
Sullivan Street.
It's dangerous around here, then.
Sometimes it's one of the less upkept streets. This place has been here for a while, and I make good gold here, especially with taking a portion of. We split some of the things that the house takes in from the gambling.
It's good.
I heard at one
Gold
time
is
this street was one of the better streets, but it's definitely gone downhill since I was a kid.
It's unfortunate. We hope you stay safe.
You as well.
Nod. Raise my glass and head back toward wherever Belkin is.
Okay. Belkin, what have you been doing this time?
Do I get the vibe that the dance party still going on? The dance ritual?
The dance ritual? So that's outside of the city, and it's probably been maybe about 45 minutes to an hour since you've seen it, so you're not quite sure, and you definitely can't see it from where you currently are in the city.
Kaz, you saw them pretty girls, right? Outside of town?
That I did. Your mind's still wandering, friend.
You think that party might be better than this party going on right now?
I think either type of party has its own innate dangers.
Well, I think you kind of killed the vibe here. You want to check that party out?
Wouldn't mind.
You hear
Even that not
the
already-
roar of a few individuals begin to yell and cheer at one of the other tables playing dice.
Perhaps a party favor on the way out, huh?
Alright.
I shall be destruction,
Okay.
and I'll walk past the table that's cheering.
Okay. You see one individual just pouring probably about 50 gold into a large pouch that he has. As he does, the gold is just disappearing into the pouch.
I'll signal subtly to Belkin that there's pouch in that direction. I'll take a place at the table if there's one available. Otherwise, I'll stand to the side.
Yeah, there's probably two stools there at this dice table that is open. There's total of 4 people that are playing and 1 person that's currently facilitating the dice game.
I take it this is where the winners sit.
Are you speaking to the man that just is dumping gold into a pouch?
No, to anyone else. I'm going to ignore him.
The individual that is running the game is in similar dark and black and gray fine clothes, has a vest with gold buttons down the center. His hair is kind of parted to the side and shaved on either side of his head. Well-kept human, no facial hair. Looks probably young, in late teens, maybe early 20s. Yes, many winners here.
Wonderful. How do you play?
He gives you the rundown of the dice game, which seems fairly straightforward. Go ahead and roll me a intelligence check to see if you kind of understand the odds of this dice game.
12.
12. Yeah, so the odds at this table seem to be 10 to 1 with a 5 gold buy-in. But the chance to roll the 7 that actually gets those odds is kind of difficult. So out of game, how we would run this game if you want to play the dice game, it would just be it's going to be a skill challenge for you to use any of your skills how you see fit in order to play the game. Whether that's sleight of hand if you want to try to, sneakily move dice, or your intelligence to try to bet in certain moments and that sort of thing.
I'll probably rely on intelligence. And I'm happy with the 5 gold buy-in, so I'll do that.
Okay. So you place your 5 gold onto the table, and he gladly takes it. And
what I do want to do though is when I roll, do I roll dice or do they roll the dice?
They're going to roll the dice, and
Okay.
depending, so it depends on whose turn it is actually, because it goes around the table of who rolls the dice for this game, and you're betting on the current dice roller. Now, when it comes to you, you can roll the dice and then bet on yourself, or you can bet on other people.
My objective here is to, when it's my turn to roll the dice, is to overroll them, have them bounce in the direction of the person who dropped the coin in the bag to distract him.
Okay. So you're going to kind of roll it in his direction, bounce it off the table, and hit him, and where he's going to...
Yeah.
Okay.
As accidentally seeming as absolutely possible, and then profusely apologize.
All right. I will allow either a dexterity, just straight dexterity, or sleight of hand as you do this.
It's the same.
And Belkin, what are you doing while Kaz is doing this?
When
1 for a 4.
Oh goodness.
Just needs to cause.
Uh-huh.
It doesn't even need to hit him. It just needs to bounce.
Yep.
Well, figuring that Kaz is going for a distraction, what I would like to do is take, for starters, take 5 gold from the guy's pouch and then use it as an ante to start gambling with.
Okay. Do you want to take it from the opening in this pouch that he hung back on his belt, or are you going to try to cut the pouch open? How are you going to take the coins from the pouch?
I don't want to cut the pouch. I want to leave it as intact as possible.
Okay. So you're going to try to slip your fingers in and pull a few coins out. Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
So Kaz goes to try to make the distraction, and his roll goes wide and down the table, rolling. Kaz, so you're not able to get advantage on your sleight of hand to try to take coins from him. But Kaz, go ahead and roll me a intelligence as you do roll your dice.
Fingers crossed. That is a 16.
16. Okay. You roll a 7. Your 5 gold turns into 50 gold as the gentleman behind the table says, "Winner, winner," as he's sliding a number of gold in your direction.
Fantastic.
Belkin, your sleight of hand to take some coins.
Sleight of hand will be hopefully good. 25.
Holy
Nice.
cow.
Why didn't you
Belkin,
just take the friggin' bag, bud?
your nimble, small halfling hand reaches down into the pouch, and you're looking for 5 gold, right? Is what you want to take?
Yep, 5 gold.
Your hand goes into the pouch, and you're feeling around. The individual doesn't notice that this happens at all. You're feeling around, and it doesn't feel like there's anything inside until you begin to think 5 gold, and then it appears in your hand, and you pull the gold from the pouch. seeming that no one notices.
I had to switch over to my webcam mic real quick because my headset died.
Okay, that's fine.
I'll likely want to run the same play again.
Okay.
Given that he's now at the table and has a chance to hopefully obtain the bag.
All right. A number of... Well, the round has to go back around to you, so do you bet on anyone else that are rolling the dice? The facilitator of the game takes the dice and then hands it off to the next person.
I will wait. Won't bet on the next one. I'll bet on the one after that.
Okay.
Then I won't bet again until it gets to me.
All right. What about you, Belkin? Do you bet on anyone else?
Yeah, I would ante up with so I could roll the dice now, right?
Yeah, you can sit. So there's one person after Kaz. There's an open seat there, so you can sit there and wait till your turn to bet on yourself, or you can bet on one of the other individuals.
Yeah, I'll sit before Kaz, so his turn will be after mine.
Okay.
And I'll do a dice roll. See if I
All right.
win.
So a few other individuals goes ahead and rolls the dice.
Yep.
Both of which lose a total of 11 gold during their turns. And Kaz, you said you were going to wait to bet on yourself, right? Yep. All right. Then it goes to another individual. Let's see how he does. He loses as well. He betted 13 gold on himself, but unfortunately loses it all. He huffs and puffs, and it goes to the individual that just won 50 gold. And he looks over to you and nods. You know what? You take this one. What is your name? He's looking at you, Kaz. Kaz.
Name is Kaedahara.
Pleasure to meet you.
Okay.
Kaedahara. What did you say?
Not bad. I can almost pronounce that.
Well then,
Kaedahara.
you rolled pretty well that one time. Let's see if you could do it again.
Beginner's luck, I think. But there's hope, yes?
Yes.
Right, and I'm rolling now, yeah?
Yep. He watches you intently as you roll.
Okay. Given that he's watching intently, I'm going to try to roll in the corner and have his eyes draw the opposite direction of where his bag is.
Okay.
It's a 19 dex.
Okay, you're using dexterity this turn. His eyes follow. He did bet a total of 10 gold on you. His eyes follow your dice as they roll across the table. And roll a perception check. 20 total.
Perception is...
Belkin, you can also roll perception as you're at the table.
Alright. Nope. 9.
Alright, did you bet any money on yourself?
I would have probably bet 5 gold again.
Okay, 5 gold again. You have a 9 in perception, and what was yours, Kaz?
19.
A 19?
19.
Okay. You notice the dice turn to 7, and then it flicks. There was something odd about how the die rolled that time, as it lands on 13, and you lose the bet. And the individual that also betted on you kind of huffs. Ugh, perhaps it was beginner's luck. He takes a long sip from his glass of wine.
It does seem that way indeed. Cannot win them all, eh? Falcon, are you doing anything while...
I know he did. I don't know if I should point out that.
The sound of thunder kind of rolls outside the inn, and those of you that are outside, the light flashes across the dark clouds in the sky as lightning somewhere not too far lights the sky for a moment.
How much gold did Kaz lose?
Lost 5.
He lost 5, but he's up 45 currently.
Yeah, it was alright. I'll try to pilfer 5 gold.
From another person or the same?
Who's closest to me besides
There's just another fancy man that's sitting nearby watching you guys, an elderly figure, a long pointed beard that's graying, his hair kind of pulled back into a ponytail that is also salt and pepper. He's not currently betting as the group of you are at the table. He seems more quiet and reserved.
Does it look like he's paying a lot of attention?
He is paying attention to the table, yes.
People at the table or the game itself?
No, it seems like he's paying attention to the game more than anything.
Okay. I will stand after losing. I'll stand and say, "Back in the moment. Perhaps I'm just light on alcohol. I'll use that to raise my luck."
The gentleman that you were speaking to moments before nods.
And I'll get up and I'll walk past Belkin and gently nudge him.
Okay.
And as I walk away, I want to pay attention to see if anyone's eyes are following me.
Okay, go ahead and roll a perception check as you're walking back towards the bar.
21.
21. The individual you were just speaking to watches you for a few moments as you walk away, but then goes back to the game. The barmaid watches you approach, but other than that, it doesn't seem like anyone really pays much attention to you beyond giving you like slight scoffs as you walk past.
Okay. On the way back then, maintaining that level of anonymity, I'll pay 2 gold for another wine.
She gladly takes it and fills your glass again. Having
On
fun.
my way back. Oh, luck was up for but a moment.
Perhaps
Let's
it'll
see if it can raise
come back around.
Can only hope, eh?
She smiles.
On my way back to the table, assuming I get the same sense that no one's eyes are on me, I want to approach from behind the guy. How far away is he from the door?
He's 2 tables in from the door, so probably about 15 feet from the door.
Perfect.
Belkin, are you doing anything in particular? As Kaz leaves for the...
guy seem to have a coin purse and then of some sort.
Which one?
The guy watching the game. The older
yes, he
gentleman.
does have a pouch on his belt. That's fairly easy to get for him, as he wants to take bets. It's not hidden or anything. You can roll a perception check to see if there's anything else on his person.
And while I do that, how comparable do the dice look on the table compared to like my dice set?
Okay. The dice set are a finely crafted set of ivory dice. Your perception for the individual, what did you get?
Oh, perception. Sorry about that. 7.
7. Yeah, he doesn't see. You don't notice anything else, any other pouches or anything hidden under his coat that he's currently wearing. Beyond just the single pouch hanging from his belt that's easily accessible. It's kind of in front of him on his leg as he's sitting on the stool.
Does he look at Kaz when Kaz goes towards the door, or is he watching Kaz though, or not?
There doesn't seem to be anyone currently watching Kaz as you look in his direction. Kaz is returning with a glass of wine.
Gotcha. Alright, well, I'll motion to Kaz to stay there for, momentarily.
And I'll wait and hold back.
Okay.
Alright, well, I guess it's my turn. You guys mind if I take
Sure,
a crack at it?
sure. The elderly man next to you says, "Go ahead and roll the dice," and he slides 5 gold onto the table.
You got faith in me, sir.
Ah, something about halflings, yes.
Alright, what roll would you like me to do for this dice?
That's up to you. You tell me what skill you would like to use and how you would like to implement it into rolling your dice.
Sleight of hand.
Yeah, definitely try his hand.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll try
Try to use a dice gambling trick, because as you're trained in dice, you can actually use your proficiency in that as well.
Yeah, but actually my proficiency with 5 hand is a lot higher than my proficiency with. So
Go ahead.
15.
15. All right. You actually roll a 7 as you win, and the elderly individual also cheers and slaps you on the back. A round for the little one, as he says, as the facilitator kind of sighs and shakes his head. He reaches out, grabs a dice, and then slides out 100 gold total, 50 to you and 50 to the individual right next to you.
Is there enough of a commotion during this for me to approach with?
Oh, absolutely. The man that you were also talking to just a minute ago kind of stands up from his chair and says, I should have betted on him as well. And he kind of straightens his shirt and so there's a few people actually moving over to this table at this moment.
Before that happens, before he stands up, I want to snag the bag and misty step outside of the building.
Oh goodness. Okay. Do you just want to take it? Do you want to stealthily take it? How do you want to approach
very
it?
stealthily. I want to be not noticed at all.
Okay. So go ahead and roll me a stealth check as you approach, and then sleight of hand to take it without him noticing. As you're using the crowd that's moving in that direction.
16 stealth.
Okay.
You get advantage on the sleight of hand given the distraction.
Absolutely.
Nice.
Can I roll a perception check to see if I know what Kaz is up to?
Oh,
absolutely.
16 stealth, 8 sleight of hand.
8.
Whoa.
Yeah, I was gonna help him with that, but he already rolled.
All right. Well, he already had advantage. You had advantage. Did you roll at it with advantage?
Yeah, I rolled with advantage. Yeah.
It was an 8.
Rolled a 5 and an 8.
You are doing awesome.
16 stealth. I was doing okay. Either way, hand on the pouch, misty step out.
So you quickly grab the pouch, and the man doesn't seem to notice.
Oh wow!
Really?
I rolled terribly.
Nice.
For his perception.
Oh my gosh.
He
Oh my
doesn't
God.
seem to notice as you cut the strap that's hanging from his belt.
Yes.
But, oh gosh, the facilitator doesn't even notice either as you stuff the pouch into your clothing, your loose clothing. Are you still misty stepping out?
If I can be not noticed disappearing from where I am, then yes. If I get the sense that it's like I can like walk behind somebody and just vanish.
Yeah. So you grab the pouch quickly with a hand blade palmed in your hand, cut the strap, and pull the pouch and stuff it into your shirt, and begin to walk away without anyone noticing. Somehow, you had halfling luck at that table, as I rolled 2
No.
ones for both perception
Wow.
checks.
Amazing. And I
And
will appear
Belkin,
outside.
Belkin, you see your friend just vanish behind the crowd that's coming towards this table. You can roll. What was your perception, Belkin?
It was let's see, 21.
Yeah, you notice that, not very well skilled, Kaz take the pouch from this gentleman's belt and disappear from the room.
Yeah, I did.
But there's a crowd gathering around your table now as people beginning to put gold on the table and betting for the next person to roll. They all look over to you. Have him roll again, you hear.
Yeah. Who wants to bet on me?
And you see a number of hands putting gold on the table. The facilitator says, hold on. We have a maximum of 5 bets at one time. And a total of 100 gold gets piled into different piles as people are betting on you to roll. So you can go ahead and roll again, choosing whatever skill or ability you wish. Just know that the DC goes higher as you use the same skill.
Okay. All right. As I use the same.
Yep.
All right. So let's see. All right. We'll go with my my proficiency and
dice. Okay. Go ahead and roll it.
All right. Let's see. That's 14.
All right. Again, you roll a 7 as the house begins to pour gold back onto the table into the pockets of the patrons. The entire room, those of you that are outside, Kaz appears in the raining street before the caravan, stepping from a nothingness.
Just enter the caravan.
Okay. So you go into the front of the caravan where Zan normally resides? Okay.
And I'm just gonna...
Zan kind of eyes you as he's kind of brushing the horse that's underneath one of the overhangs of the buildings. Kaz?
Aye.
Do you have like a smug look on your face?
Not even.
Not even?
Take a seat. A little too much fun for my taste, perhaps. Vulcan seems to be enjoying himself, however.
He nods. And just watches you for a few moments. And then... staying out of the rain then.
There's a lot of noise inside. I've gotten rather used to the quiet. Rain itself doesn't bother me as much, but...
Roll a deception check.
Can I insight that as well?
Yes, you absolutely can.
14.
Okay.
12.
Zan gives you a long look for a moment, and then looks back towards the inn, as if he's expecting something. And nothing comes. Nothing but more cheers as Belkin wins the next roll. They begin to
What is
cheer
he
you
winning right
on
now?
and ask your name. Belkin.
Who am I?
Yes.
Oh, Belgium? Oh, I'll gladly tell him I am.
They begin to chant. Everyone outside can hear the sound of Belkin, 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 as they're cheering him on, saying his name, chanting it on the inside for him to roll again, as a number of individuals bet more gold. Belkin, the gold is flowing onto the table you're at right now.
Nice.
Oh god, he's gonna get killed.
Are you gonna roll again?
Let's see here. Who wants to win and give me my fair share? I'll go one more time.
They're all cheering you on. You hear one guy says, "I'll give you half," and he puts down 100 gold.
Okay, let's go.
What skill would you like to use?
Question of the day.
Belkin, as you look at the table, there's probably close to 500 gold there.
Oh, easy, bro. Okay. I'll have to come up with ways.
If you use your dice skill, it's not as difficult of a boost every roll.
Okay. Then I'll go with dice again.
All right. Go ahead and roll your dice.
Natural 20, 26.
Oh shit.
The crowd goes wild as another 7 shows up on the dice that you roll. And the facilitator begins to try to calm the room down, but they can't. 2 individuals raise you up, put you on their shoulders, and more chanting. Drinks begin to flow as they're handing you booze. Gold begins to be pushed in your direction as they fill your pockets. Belkin, you win a total of 75 gold pieces as they shift gold toward you and begin to chant for you to roll one more time.
Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, but it's been a long day for me. I must retire. I hope you all enjoyed the show.
Many of them are sad, but the ones that have filled their pockets with gold are very happy as well. And other individuals try to fill your seat as they're like betting on who, or fighting over who can actually take your stool in your spot. Arguments begin to transpire as, do you leave or do you stay in the room?
No, I'll leave it.
As you leave, they still yell out your name, hoping that you will one day return.
Maybe someday.
Legendary Belkin.
Oh my gosh, that was incredible.
So, on the outside, the group of you have seen this transpire, heard the roars, and ate your meal, had conversations with the child. What do you do as Kaz is sitting inside the caravan, odd for Kaz because he's probably never done this yet. And Belkin leaving the Black Banner Inn, probably a huge grin on his face and his pockets jingling with gold.
How's my friend? How?
I overheard you've done well.
And I wouldn't have done so without your help, my friend.
Oh,
And I'll
I'm
give
not
him.
sure you are quite talented.
And I'll give him 13 gold.
Okay.
Just to make my gold a nice even number.
All right.
I'll happily take it.
All right. Write down your 13 gold that Belkin slides over to you, or hands over to you.
To future and more profitable endeavors.
Indeed. Indeed. Well,
I
then,
would say. Sorry, go ahead, Andrew.
should we mosey along?
I was about to say, I think it's best we move now that you've drawn attention to us completely.
Zan nods and brings the second horse over that he had been taking care of for a little bit of time. As you guys have probably taken maybe an hour or so inside there, gambling and drinking and plotting your thievery. Zan gets the horse ready. The horse is ready again, and then gets onto the front of the caravan. Kaz, do you leave the caravan or do you stay inside?
Leave the caravan.
The boy says,
I'll
"Mister,
keep,
you ready?"
Yes, we're ready. Sorry, I assume he's talking to me. I guess. Or are you
Yeah.
talking to me?
He's kinda
I'll
looking at
keep
all of
close
you.
keep close to the prisoner on one of the sides.
Okay.
Lokian resumes his post near the prisoner as well.
All right.
I'm doing so. I'm going to cast Disguise Self
Okay.
and make everything that I'm wearing completely black.
Do you still look
and
like
have it
you,
look-
or do you want to change your features as well?
No, I want to look about a foot shorter. Humanoid, a human foot shorter, human black hair, dark cloak. Basically, completely different than I looked for the next hour.
Okay. Are you doing this in front of any of your companions?
Yeah, I'll make sure that Alokian and Belkin can see.
Okay.
I do it, and then I'll take my post on the other side.
All right. So the few of you notice Kaz change his appearance as the caravan lurches forward and begins to move down the street.
Lokian will, when he sees Kaz do that, he'll look over to him, wink, and then do the exact same thing.
Nice.
And what do you look like?
I look exactly like Kaz now.
Okay.
What he transformed
Oh my
into.
gosh.
So
Okay.
I'm assuming like either of you are like flanking the caravan, and Corvin, you turn around and see two darkly clothed humanoids kind of flanking the caravan as it's moving forward. Belkin, you know exactly who these people are, but
Corvin kind of rolls his eyes and says, "Which one of you is Kaz?"
Yes.
Gesture to Alokian.
okay. Roll a deception check.
I
Let's
was
try to
gonna say-
change your voice and sound more like Kaz.
I'll roll an insight. I guess against his
Yep.
deception.
13.
15.
The voice is definitely off, but yeah.
Perfect. Now I know who he is, and I'll walk over to the right one.
Okay.
I will kind of come up next to him, and so kind of like I think of Geralt from The Witcher, like the series, how he always holds his sword at the side. That's kind of how Corvin
Okay.
is, because I feel like the back really with a great sword doesn't really make any sense.
No,
He'd
see
walk
that
up,
one?
he'd
Like-
walk up next to him and say, "Listen, I'm gonna need you to be a little more careful. with who you're making enemies of.
I do understand your concern.
No, you don't.
Stench of nobility.
You don't understand my concern, obviously, because I'm not concerned about you. I'm concerned about the job.
None of us want to lose money on this job.
What? Say that again, sorry.
None of us want to lose money on this job.
Exactly. So, watch what you're getting into. Okay? Now, I was there for you, and I'll be there for you. You're part of the team. But, please, just think before you act. Don't be senseless about it. I understand wanting to punch that guy in the face. Trust me.
Oh, no, I had no intention of striking the man. I merely wanted to see him lose his cool.
I understand. But we have to keep the job in mind. And our reputation in mind.
Shall tread with slightly more caution.
Thank you. And he'll kind of nod to him and walk back to the front.
Okay. As Corvin is walking back towards the front, where the child's leading the group of you down the road, everyone make perception checks.
I will likely be having Amoy lying alongside as well.
Okay.
Overhead.
And those of you that don't have dark vision, roll a disadvantage, please.
2 for
That'd be
me.
me.
2.
And I all 13. I wonder how much lower I.
21.
21. What was the
13.
Tomoe?
13 to.
Amoy 11, me 17.
Okay. And 21 for Alokian. Alright. Alokian and... Well, let me start with Kaz. Kaz, you notice much of the street, especially now that it's a little bit later in the evening, there's still people, lone travelers from time to time that you pass, but particularly there's 2 individuals, shorter individuals, that are trailing you currently, probably about 60 feet behind you. Alokian, you notice that as you're walking alongside the right side of the caravan to watch the prisoner, you notice the 2 that are behind you. But as the kid up ahead is guiding you down the road, you notice 3 other forms, 2 from the right and 1 from the left of the road, begin to step out, probably about 20 feet, 30 feet ahead of where the caravan is, and there seems to be, like, they were actively trying to hide, and as they're kind of stepping out from corners of the building, down from an alley.
Grease beneath their feet.
Okay.
So, oh wait, was I the only one that saw that? Or
so you saw the 2 from behind, but you also saw 3 ahead. So far 5 total. That seemed to be, like, the 2 behind seemed to try to blend in with just the rain, the darkness as they were moving forward, but you can see them like no day. They're just shorter individuals. With the 21, you do see the 2 that are behind you, especially with your dark vision, small elongated snouts coming from behind, hooded cloaks, and yellow piercing eyes from their scaly draconic forms as they're following you. The 3 ahead are 2 more that are similar, but also another humanoid figure, much larger than the other 4, that seems to have some sort of slick back helmet with 2 gray spines that are protruding out the top, that are kind of curling behind the head, that has a thick black leather armor and cloak kind of pulled over the shoulder. And it
I'm
looks...
try to cast catch the big guy and one of the others in my 10-foot square of grease
Okay,
ahead.
you don't see the human or the other two that are in the front. You only see the two that are trailing. So what I'm going to do is, for the surprise round, have everyone roll initiative here in a second as I set the stage.
Alrighty.
Get you guys here on the screen just a moment.
Never a dull moment.
All right, can you guys see the roll 20 there?
I cannot.
Everything's black.
All right, gotta put you on there. I'm gonna put you on the board, but you kind of move yourself where you believe you would be around this caravan.
The best view of the prisoner would be like where I currently am, basically,
Yes.
right?
Yep.
Yeah. That's where I
Control
would have
1
been.
for initiative. So glad to get that out of the way.
Nice.
Don't do shit.
All right. Let me put the individuals that Lokian sees on the board. The other two aren't quite at this location yet. Things will begin to transpire here.
I see nothing but black for me.
All right.
Probably because I don't have dark vision.
Yep, you don't have dark
Wow.
vision, and I will. The caravan has a light, so I need to put that on there.
And I rolled a 23 for initiative, but it didn't put on the turn order.
Okay.
Because I forgot to.
Well, yeah, click your token and go ahead and roll again,
Okay.
and then I'll
Absolutely.
change it for you.
I thought I did click my token because I saw my MP. I'm like, oh, okay. But no. 19. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. I didn't know that. Fantastic.
All right. Stream can now see the individuals on screen.
Goodbye.
What I'll do is give Zan some light here for you.
I can see the map on Twitch at least. Haha. I cheat. Haha. It's mine.
Do you have sight now?
Yes, I do.
Awesome. So yeah, that light there is in front of the caravan that Zan currently has.
Thank you, Zan. Yeah, Zan's human, right? He doesn't have dark vision, does
Yes, he is human. He does
Hey,
not have
Alokian.
dark
What is
vision.
that phrase from that famous play? I see dead people. One gesture behind me.
I heard that was the guy's like only one good play. He kept on trying to make it more, but it didn't work.
All right, and then I will roll for these guys. All right, yeah, my enemies are going last, so even under you guys.
Nice.
Yes. All right.
Getting all the luck today.
Yes, you guys are. I'm getting all the bad luck. Hopefully, it's all out the way.
Hopefully for us, not.
All right, so let's get this set up. So Belkin,
Yeah.
you don't notice anything. So we're gonna go for the surprise round. I think the only two that saw anything was Alokian and Kaz. As you see these individuals begin to prepare, as they're stepping from the darkness and trailing. What do you do?
I don't
Lokian,
know.
you're before Kaz.
I think that I would be on the seat with the part.
Okay.
I don't do anything. I don't see anything. I'm still.
All right. Lokian?
So the first immediate thing I would do is say we have company, and I would step as close as I can to the cart.
Okay.
And I'm not sure I can reach Corviner because so I would end up. Well, I think they don't really need it. So I will give Belkin and Zahn the Eyes of the Night dark vision.
Okay.
Ooh.
Give that to them.
So useful. Holy crap.
Especially on me.
Yeah.
That is a good ability, though.
So you get to Belkin and who?
And Zahn.
Right.
It only has a 10-foot range, so they're the only people in range I can give it to.
Got it.
But we're the only people that
Zahn-
really need it.
Zahn's eyes adjust for a moment as he's driving the caravan down, and he looks over to you, slightly surprised. What's happening?
At 1 o'clock.
All right. He holds the
And,
reins in one hand and seems to get ready for something.
And Eyes of the Night is my action, so that is my turn.
That's his action.
Kaz, what do you do as you see the two that are trailing you, and you hear a Lokian speaking over to Zahn?
Far back are they?
They're about 60 feet currently. Yeah, so just off
Just-
the... Yep.
Just off, okay. I'm going to hold a firebolt. And if there's any sign of aggression at all, I will let loose. If it comes around to my turn again before that happens, I'm going to let loose anyway. At one of the people closest to me from behind.
All right. Okay. Let's see. You begin to conjure your spell and prepare it to release. The round will go to them because it's still during the surprise round. You hear from the southwestern part of the map here, the individual that's standing there. It begins to yell out to the others, and pointing at you as a firebolt of its own shoots out from its hand, not targeting any of you, but the wheel of the caravan. It does scorch some of the front wheel there that's just under Zan and burn it, but not enough to break the wheel currently. Anyone speak Draconic?
No.
You don't understand what the individual says as he yells out. And then the two that are here go ahead and act, both taking out slings and setting stones. They will aim at Zan. This one first. Forward.
That be one of the ones in front or in behind?
In the front, as they are coming from their cover and taking their shot. Get advantage. Okay. You see a stone just crack Zan across the face. Takes a little bit of damage there. as the creature hisses. Its cowl and cloak kind of fall back as it rushes forward, and you see just red and dark black scales littering, just pulled across its face and neck as the creature runs forward. Anyone with knowledge of nature or arcana can try to identify them as the other creature rushes forward next to him.
Natural 20 for a 27.
All right. It charges forward as well.
21.
I don't have that.
All right. Both of you know these creatures to be kobolds. They seem to be taking direction from the individual that is to the southwest there that shot the firebolt at the caravan. They are, obviously, their draconic heritage are of red dragons, but possibly also black, as you see some littering, like some smattering of black scales as well. So some sort of mixture. You know, they like to, especially with a natural 20, they are sensitive to sunlight and like to fight in packs. And tend to enjoy traps.
If I were being move at night, makes sense.
All right. Then another rushes over to this side and will also target Zan from his perch. This time the rock just smashes into the side of the wood where Zan's kind of beginning to take cover. It looks like they're targeting him. And the last one that is there. Kaz, you can go ahead and take your held action now if you want, or you can wait at any one of these.
I'm gonna keep it now.
Right.
Do it work? Nope, that did not. That was an 18 to hit.
Are you targeting one of the kobolds?
One of the kobolds, yep.
Yep. All right. Yes, 18 does hit. Which one do you want to target? Which one are you targeting?
One here.
Okay. Yes, that hits.
That is a 2 fire damage.
2 fire damage. The fire bursts across the kobold's clothes and chest. It seems to do some damage, but not as much as you would have expected it to.
To be expected.
And the last kobold will take a shot at Zan. And Zan's kind of ducking and looking behind him and in front of him as he's trying to maneuver the horses around these individuals that are rushing to try to get in front of the cart. And he does look back, and from the right side of his head just gets smashed by another rock. Man. Zan at this time looks fairly wounded after that amount of damage. But the round rolls over. Belkin. The caravan is being surrounded by these small individuals. Now that you have the dark vision, you can see their scaly skin as these kobolds are charging forward. You also see the individual that's hiding behind the crates there that just cast the spell, the firebolt spell, against the caravan. What do you do?
Yeah, definitely. I will like to hop off my seat, and I want to move here to use the cart and cover against the 4 on the left side of the map.
Okay.
And I will pot shot.
By the way, just so everyone knows, that is the boy.
This is the boy, right?
Yeah.
The boy's in the front.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Okay.
Okay. Oh no, I know that. That changes the plan a tiny bit, but not too much.
I think I made a dot. I didn't mean to.
No, I did. I put it
Okay.
on there so everybody can see him. The blue dot.
Okay.
It's the boy.
Yeah. Then I'll peek on the corner and take a pot shot at this kobold right here.
All right. Make
With
your
my
shot.
shotgun. I will try. Normal. Crit.
Oh, goodness.
There you go.
Roll your crit damage as you take a shot at that kobold that's moving forward, focused on Zan currently.
That way I don't get sneak attack at all, but that's okay. It still works.
Still a really good shot.
Still a very good shot indeed. Roll twice. 7 plus. Oh, wait. 7 down for first shot, and then.
That it didn't auto roll the.
I mixed 12. So 12. 12.
All right. Your arrow just shoots through the air, even through the rain, the heavy rainfall that's in here, striking the creature directly in the chest. He falls back and squirms a bit before he finally just stops moving. That
And
creature
that be.
is taken out.
Okay. He's dead.
All right. Zan will go. Zan will hold the reins and look to the group view. Belkin's already taken one out. We wounded though. He's gonna take cover there, and the group view. Kill these things before we move on. We can see who's attacking us, and he's pointing at the guy behind the box. Get him. And he'll pull the horses as to a stop here. The boy says, "Mister, I'm sorry." And he will move to the front of this building here, take cover. All right, Alokian.
So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So I move in front of the horses. And I'm going to focus on that guy that cast the fireball.
Okay.
And I will use my action to cast Toll the Dead. So I will just kind of reach out towards him, focus, and imagine bells ringing in his ear.
All right. And that's a save, right?
A wisdom save.
Yes. Yep.
Let's see.
If he's missing any health for whatever
Use it.
reason,
Oh,
then
yeah,
he would
use
do a
it.
D12 instead, yeah.
All right. Roll the 16. What is your DC?
That saves. My save is a 14.
All right. I believe he fights off the effects of your Toll the Dead.
Yes. And as a bonus action, I will cast Shield of Faith on myself.
Shimmering light begins to engulf and surround Alokian as he moves forward, saying a few words of magic. It's God.
You'll need to protect me. And
Corvin.
Don't make me
Corvin
suffer.
will draw his great sword and say, "Finally, some action." And he's going to run straight forward to this kobold right here because he can't quite reach the other guy.
Okay.
We'll take a swing. 25.
That definitely hits. As you bring your
For
great sword
15.
down
damage.
You cleave the kobold from left shoulder down to the right waist as he just falls in half. Dead.
That's more than my foot.
Let me see how far I moved for sure. Actually, I guess I can move one step. I will turn and like just take a step towards this guy, and I kind of will take the blood of it and rub it on my hand and kind of put it on the side of my face as I smile at him.
Oh, warp
blade. Yeah.
Yikes.
Nice.
All right. Corvin
I'm
taking
enjoying
out another one of the kobolds. Kaz, it is now your turn.
Okay. 5, 10, move any further. I'll move to here. 3 feet, and I'm going to look at the enemy over here. Mutter subtly an incantation and cast Toll the Dead.
All right.
It's DC 15 Wisdom.
Okay. Again, he seems to fight off the effect of Toll the Dead, as this spellcaster seems somewhat wise.
I'm going to pull out. Seems to be a terrible day to die.
Okay. All right. 2 kobolds in the front have fallen, but the 2 in the rear continue to move forward. The individual hisses a few other words in Draconic, knowing what is currently transpiring. This kobold moves to there, and and a stone comes flying towards you, Kaz. .22 as the stone comes hurling through the air towards your back. Does 22 hit?
22 most definitely hits.
All right. You take 4 points of damage as a stone hits you in your spine. You hear a loud crack. The next one rushes forward. It also seems to be focusing on you. Natural 20.
Oof.
Oh, fuck.
You take 8 points of damage as another stone hits you from behind. Everyone sees Kaz just kind of crumple forward onto the ground. All right, and Wizard will. You're in heavy armor, aren't you, Corvin?
Yes.
All right.
Chainmail, I think.
He will move out from his cover and begin to say a few words of magic, and then hold his hands out as a burst of flame just engulfs the area where you're standing. Roll a dexterity save, please.
Ooh, not great. Probably 5.
Oof.
As the burning hands engulfs Corvin, take 13 points of damage. A fire licking
down.
across your body.
Corvin is down as well. That is exactly his hit points.
Shit.
Save me, Belkin.
All right, and that is the end of the enemy's turn. Rolls back over to Belkin. Corvin, you do see the individual before you pull a dagger as your body begins to crumple to the ground from the flames and the fire as he's staring at you before everything begins to go dark. Belkin.
If I move here, I think do I have a clean line of sight on the caster?
I'm gonna say he has some cover because the horse is there.
Okay.
Now you can climb up on top of the caravan if you want. You'll make an athletics check and you can move half your speed. See if you can climb up, unless you have a climb speed.
I do not yet. I
So
will.
athletics or acrobatics, your choice. How you want to do it.
Ooh. Now what? Let's go acrobatics. Let's try it out.
Or with your
Come
small
on.
stature, you can just walk underneath to the other side of the caravan. Your choice.
I want cover from the two.
You can get cover on top of the caravan as there's a large wooden chest up there that you can kind of hide behind from them as you're attacking the other guy if you wish.
Yeah, I'll do that. So I
All right,
need
roll your acrobatics.
You got it. 21.
Oh yeah, Belkin, you leap onto the wheel there, and then on top of just quickly on top of the caravan. So you have 15 feet of movement there. You can move up there, to right there. Yep. And you have line of sight to anyone you wish, but also cover from the kobolds from their current position.
I'll fire my bow at the caster.
All right.
See what we got. No, no, that's a 9. I miss.
All right, your arrow goes streaking through the air and hits the individual, but seems to just shatter across whatever protective magics that he currently has up.
That'll be my turn.
All right, Zan. He ties off the reins to the horses onto the front of the caravan. Let's see, I'm breaking it. Oh yeah, okay. And then jumps off and charges the caster. To there. Not yet pulling his scimitar as he hasn't had time. We'll go ahead and attack this guy. Natural 20.
Thank God.
All right. With an elbow, as he's charging forward, he slams the elbow into the left side ribs, and everybody hears a loud pop as a rib breaks, and this individual takes a pretty good hit. He looks severely wounded as the guy almost hunched over, holding his side at this moment, trying to catch his breath. Right, Alokian.
Okay, so I'm going to put myself between Corvin and the caster.
Okay.
And with my action, I'm going to cast Cure Wounds on Corvin. For 6.
Corvin, light enters your eyes again as you open them. Dark vision. Light, yes, because Zan is standing before the caster now, in hand-to-hand combat, and Alokian's removing his hand from your body as he's healed you some.
And with I don't know if you would let me as a bonus action, but since I rolled pretty decent on knowing about kobolds, would you let me, as a bonus action or something, toss like 4 gold coins in the direction of the kobolds?
Sure, go ahead and roll Yeah, go ahead and roll a dexterity to see if you can hit where you want it. What square are you trying to put the gold in?
Probably, maybe just like 5 or 10 feet in front of them.
Okay. Go ahead and roll dexterity to see how far you can throw some gold.
Roll that goal.
All right.
14.
Yeah, you've tossed a handful of gold, probably like 4 gold pieces off in that direction, and it scatters across the ground. Their yellow eyes quickly darting towards the sound of the clinging as it's scattering across the wet stone.
Perfect. That's my turn.
All right. Orvin.
Laying on the ground, kind of face first.
Your great sword
Hair,
on the ground in
yeah.
front of you.
hair kind of smoldering, skin burnt. He grabs his great sword and says, "I hate wizards," and then he's gonna jump up and like move forward and attack.
Good thing Khan can't.
I was about to say, fortunately, Kaz is unconscious.
12.
12. Your
Fortunately.
great sword comes down, striking this individual. That's now that you're really close to him. A lot of his armor seems to try to emulate some sort of draconic creature. It's designed to look like a reptilian sort of scaly skinned creature. Yeah, 12 hits.
Hit, sweet. 8 slashing damage.
All right, and you run him through with your sword, your blade going through his stomach, and he just falls kind of limp on the tip, on the midway through your blade.
Okay. I'll kind of twist, hopefully maybe see a little pain in his face as he's dying, and I'll push him off.
Most of his face and features are covered as from the helmet that's on his head, but yeah, you can see in his eyes he's
Goes wide.
Yep.
Perfect. And then he will take 2 steps. I think that's all the movement I have left. So I will just kind of start heading towards those other kobolds, kind of
all right.
shaking off the pain of his body being covered in burns.
All right. Kaz, need you to make a death saving throw.
Oof.
That's a fail.
Fortunately, Kaz fails the first. All right. The 2 kobolds that are still there, one slightly wounded. They kind of look at each other, and you hear some chittering back and forth for a moment before they nod. The one that is wounded begins to pick up the gold pieces. The other moves in front of him. Well, this one will have to move there to pick up the gold. This one will move in front of him, kind of guarding him, and picking another stone. Seeing the one that was currently leading them fall, he looks back to the other and seems to say something rapidly, like, roll an insight check to try to read his emotion as he slings another stone towards Zan.
14.
He seems to be trying to hurry him. And stone goes flying towards Zan. But Zan quickly turns around and ducks, the stone skipping on the cobblestone behind him. And the other kobold is distracted, picking up the gold pieces. So we go back to Belkin.
I'll attack the one that tried to hit Zan.
Okay.
So I have to do this. 15
15 does hit.
or 6 piercing damage.
All right. Your arrow pierces the side of his neck. You see blood pooling down from between his scales, and he kind of clenches, tries to pull the arrow out, but then falls to the ground as well.
Almost feel bad. Almost.
All right. Zan. He looks to the group of you and looks to you, Alokian. You have cause?
I have him.
Okay. And he turns and rushes towards the kobold that is picking up the gold. The kobold looks up. His bright yellow eyes just widen slightly as Zan takes a knee up towards the kobold. The kobold rapidly just ducks and rolls to the side, gold still in hand, and shoving the gold into a pouch. Zan misses, unfortunately. Alokian.
I will move up to Kaz and cast Spare the Dying.
Okay. Kaz, you no longer have to make death saves.
And once I'm done casting that, I will move back to the dying guy.
All right. Orvin.
I will kind of slowly walk and move towards putting away my great sword, knowing I'm not going to reach him, and yanking out a javelin and flicking it towards this.
So you push the guy off your blade, put your great sword away, and pull out a javelin and throw it at the kobold.
Is it just one, right?
There's just one left, yeah.
Yeah, then I will throw that at the goal. The one left, 17.
All right. I was going to say you have disadvantage because Zan is in the way as you're throwing into some cover there, but doesn't matter because 17 hits.
Yep. Okay. 10 damage.
And the creature begins to stand from his roll, and he doesn't have time to dodge out of the way as he lets out a screech, the javelin going into his throat and back out the backside of his skull, and he goes sliding on the cobblestone behind him.
Orvin will smile, and he will turn around, and assuming we're out of combat, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. He'll turn around and he'll use his Azamar trait, Healing Hands, to he'll dump it all into Kaz. So you get 1 hit point back.
Kaz, life enters your body once again. What has transpired around you as your companions are gathering themselves?
Don't say I never did anything for you. I'm gonna walk back. I'm walk and get my javelin out of the face of the goblin.
Okay. Kobold.
Shake my head slowly.
Yeah, Kaz, the back of your head is throbbing. Corvin, your body feels like it's had 3rd-degree burns all across it. The metal of your armor still feeling a bit hot from the attack from the wood.
Can I detect any? Is this guy dead, or does he still have some life to him before he's done?
Go ahead and roll a medicine check as you're standing over him, examining the body.
9.
You're not quite sure. He's probably just on the edge of death as you feel him struggling to breathe.
I'd like to cast Spare the Dying on him.
Okay. That's fine. You feel with your divine power and reach out, Ilmater, to keep him dying. He's very close.
While he's doing that, I'm gonna take the gold pouch that the kobold had.
Okay. So you go over to the kobold and pilfer the gold that was in his pouch. You also find alongside of the 4 gold, a total of 12 silver.
Cool. Thank you.
Orvin, perhaps we bind this one and question him.
I think that
Zan
would be a good idea.
looks to the group of you. Either we need to do it in a dark place. We'll bring him along. I don't want to stay here any longer than we have to.
Definitely bring him along, and Corbin will pick him up.
He'll be out for a while. You can come with.
You hear the jingling of chains as Livshana in the back of cage is peering through some of the cracks, watching what was going on.
I will take him to the caravan and load him on top, and tell Belkin, you stay there, watch him while we're traveling, and then I'm
Watch
gonna go
who?
back. We got the wizard. He's unconscious. We're gonna question him, see who he is.
Zan begins to drag the bodies of the kobolds and just toss them in one of the alleys nearby. I'd rather not draw as much attention to us as possible. Then he jumps into the front of the caravan.
Did we search the rest of the goblins?
Kobolds.
Kobolds. Why do I keep saying goblins?
You can, if you want. Yes.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and pat him down, see if they have any other
All right.
gold on him.
You find a total of 56 silver on silver pieces on the kobolds. Almost said goblins as well, because you said goblins.
I'm sorry. I don't know why I'm saying that. I'm used to goblins being like the number one, like level 1 monsters. That's what I always use.
They each have a decent dagger, so 4 daggers, as well as their little makeshift leather slings, and a handful of stones.
Okay. I will get all the gold, and the daggers I'll offer to Kaz or Belkin, whoever wants, if they want them.
Okay.
Nah, I got 2 of my own. Thank you very much.
Rovin, did
Take
you
a dagger.
did you find the gold that they picked up?
Who?
He asked me.
Corvin, because I see Corvin patting them down. Did you happen to grab the gold that they took from me?
I only found silver.
The one of them that you searched didn't have anything.
That one, and I'll point towards maybe which one, and I'll say that one didn't have anything on it.
And Alokian, you know that was the one that picked up the gold.
So I'll walk next to Belkin on top of the cart there, and I'll just put out my hand towards him. Given my knowledge of what he's been doing.
I give him a high five. Good job, buddy.
I'll just kind of peer up at him on top of the cart.
Corvin will pass out 10 silver to each person.
Okay.
You said they had 57, right? That's what you said?
56, yeah.
56, okay. So I'll keep some, but not much.
10 silver?
Okay. 10 silver. I give you all 10 silver.
Right.
Just write down whatever you take onto your sheets, the daggers or whatever.
Did the
Alokian drops the subject, by the way, after the high five.
Did the
He's my best friend.
the caster have anything of interest or note on their person?
Okay. So you get on top of the caravan and begin to see if there's anything on them. Their dark purple colored cape is finely made as well as their armor. Their leather armor seems pretty well made, as its representation of some sort of draconic creature. It's leather armor, but it covers from head to basically toe a lot of their features. As you pull the helmet off, they are human, bald, shaved head, a number of scars across their exposed skin. You do find a belt pouch with minor spell components. Nothing of real note there. And a dagger as well. Well, a sheath to the dagger. They dropped the dagger once they fell. There's no belt pouch with coin or anything in it.
No spell book or anything.
There is a spell book actually. They have a spell book that you can try to decipher in a few moments.
I'll take the spell book.
Yep. You also find underneath their armor a made out of different metals with multiple heads, emblem of a dragon with multiple heads with different colored metals.
Fantastic.
Oh, as a player, I'm thinking Tiamat, but as a character, I know
Roll
anything about
knowledge
that.
religion.
I don't have that. So building one of shit.
Did I notice this or no?
Sure. Or
I
unless
will.
Kaz wants to keep it hidden. That's up to Kaz.
24, and no, I'm not going to keep it hidden.
Yes, it is a symbol of Tiamat.
I'm also gonna roll just for the religion aspect. Oh, 23.
Definitely
I'll
a symbol of
toss the
Tiamat.
symbol. Toss the symbol down to trouble indeed.
As you guys are looking at the individual on top of the caravan, Zan says, "Can we get going now? Or do you
Yeah,
want
let's
to
get moving.
investigate anymore?"
Yes, let's move.
He gets the caravan going as you're rifling through the individual on top of the caravan. And yeah, that's what you find.
Why in the world would have followers of Tiamat attack us?
Something I hope to find out once this one wakes up.
Good
Kaz,
question. And they seem to be targeting you.
Kaz, go ahead and roll intelligence check.
Did you say they were targeting me, you thought, Andrew? Or do you think
Zan.
Zan? Yeah, they definitely. He was driving the cart. That was one of the other reasons I wondered. Maybe why he was.
17.
17. You know, especially specifically because of some of your background, that the cult of the dragon works in some of the southern region of Symbia. Specifically, the cult of the dragon have had their hands in some of the riling up of this wanting to expand territories and starting a war between Symbia, the Dalelands, and Cormyr recently. Because one of the things your organization has dealt with a lot is fighting and outing some of the cult of the dragons as well.
These foolish individuals been over their head. Well, I wonder. They here for her.
I will go back and kind of look in the cage and ask. These ones with you?
Do you move the canvas so she can see?
Yeah, sure.
She looks out as you're driving away from the scene. The kobolds laying in an alley, looking to the kobolds, and she just shakes her head as she's currently bound and can't speak.
I'll kind of let the canvas close. Yeah, I mean, she doesn't seem like the type to follow Tiamat. I mean, look at the garb that these guys were wearing compared to what she's been wearing. It's not like she's. I assume. Did we find like a holy symbol on her?
You did not.
Okay.
No, you haven't like stripped her down to nothing to her over,
Yeah.
but You've patted her
If
down
these
to make
were-
sure she didn't have anything like that.
If these were just simply kobolds, I would chalk it up to kobold things.
Yeah.
But the caster, he seems like he needs to be questioned. He's out of place for this to just be a random mugging.
I would
Agree.
agree.
These cultists of the dragon, he seems to travel with. We've been afoot and amok of late, especially here among the south. Well, bent, I suppose, on starting a war.
Well, in any case, we'll travel onwards and wait for him to wake up.
He's unwilling to talk, we shall rip the tongue from his head. These cultists do not deserve mercy.
Logan will just kind of look away.
Okay. Right. The boy does return to lead you further through the city. You do pass what looks like a fairly well-built forge beneath a raised apartment or home. Beneath there's a number of forges and stacks and anvil, and that's all currently closed up with iron bars all around it. It's open to the air beneath there, but there are iron bars and a gate that's currently chained and closed. You do see a number of different symbols, especially to those of you that are trained in religion, to Tyr, as the boy points it out. The mighty fist. And he's mostly speaking to you, Alokian, as you had the conversation with him earlier. Misters, we're almost to the market. Beyond the market. Just a little ways further out of here.
Please, lead on.
And he does. He leads you into a large open area that has a number of stalls, most of which are closed up. Some are tents. You can see some light coming from within them, but the front of the tent is actually closed, shut, tied. And beyond that, he takes you back onto the main road, Street of the Dragon, that is mainly the way of the Manticore. It's heading west out of the city.
Did we bind the captain's hands for the time up though?
I asked Corvin to
Yeah,
bind him. Yeah.
Sorry, I assume I did, but
Okay, that's
I
fine.
need to get up there and do it.
So you get up there, go ahead and roll a sleight of hand check or dexterity, whichever you wish
Oh,
to try to
jeez.
tie him up.
Maybe Belkin
Can
should
assist with
tie
that.
Okay.
I
Or I
mean,
can help. Yeah, if I act, because I
you're
got.
probably better at knots than I am.
Yeah.
You go right ahead.
Kaz helps you, Belkin, to tie.
Wait, help me.
Yep.
16.
16? Alright. You tie up this individual on the top of the caravan. You think you did a decent job, as the caravan pulls through the main market area and back onto the main road, and at this time it's fairly late. There's not a ton of people that are moving in and out of the area. Some people are leaving a nearby bar and going home for the evening, but the rest of your travel through Daraloon, as you meet the gate to the west, currently closed, but guarded by a number of guardsmen. They nod to you and ask, "Leaving for the evening?"
Yes, we are.
Are you hiding the guy on top?
I don't think so.
I guess not. No.
We probably should have, but we definitely did not.
Probably not.
Zan kind of pulls the cart to a stop at the front of the gate, and Zan says, "He had too much to drink tonight." And anyone want to
That Zan's a
assist
quick.
Yes, I will assist him.
Zan in saying anything?
You guys know how it is on the roads. As soon as you see a tavern, it's hard not to take part.
All right, why don't
Comes-
you roll persuasion or actually deception with advantage?
Okay.
Because
24.
the guards nod. It looks like they're having a little bit more to drink up there. You can see the guy's mouth is halfway open, rain kind of pouring into it. And they chuckle as open the gate. And they begin to open the gate.
Yes.
It takes a few
With
moments.
with luck, maybe he'll drown, so that might save us some coin in the long run from all that
They all kind of
that
laugh.
alcohol.
They all kind of laugh at your jokes. And then Zan quickly begins to move the caravan out of the city. The boy, Zan does toss the boy a few more gold pieces and tells him to stay out of trouble. And job well done. And the boy nods and then runs off. Begins to run.
Right before he runs off, I'll yell out to him. Remember what I said, Job.
I'll remember, mister. Only hurt the people that hurt you. Even with words. And then runs off.
Oh boy.
Close enough.
Especially with words.
And about future big bad evil guy. Right there, that kid. He can come back.
Big bad evil guy. And then the road is ahead of you is what is to be had to the west as caravan moves out of the light of the city into the darkness of the way of the Manticore. If we're going to continue on, I'd like to take a small break here, if that's okay.
Same.
Yeah.
So let's take a few minutes. Go to the restroom. I'm going to go grab another drink as well, and we'll be right back, guys.
Okie dokie.
Cordell, if you ever want help in deception again, let me know. I'm proficient in that too.
Okay. Sweet. Yes. I am also proficient, so I'm gonna be
Also,
Deceptive paladin before. That's awesome.
yes. I'm gonna be cranking charisma over the time too. Every ability score I can get, I'm gonna
Right, yeah.
I'm gonna
Nice.
boost. I'm gonna boost charisma, so I'm pretty. I'm
Nice.
gonna get to 20 as soon as I can because it's
Awesome.
gonna help all my saving throws.
Yeah, I'm getting my dex to 20 at level 4 too.
Nice.
intelligence
If I-
still at 20, so I get to just focus on feats.
Well, my strength is at 20, but I think charisma helps paladins so much. Like
Yeah, they do.
Dude,
like saving throws and spell.
spell like underrated. Like, they
Mhm.
have really amazing spells. I really
Yeah.
like them.
So
All right, we ready to continue?
indeed.
We'll continue for about another 30 minutes or so, if that's good with you guys.
Yeah, sure. Really.
So with that, beginning to leave Daraloon behind. About another hour travel. Well, Zan looks to the group of you and says, I want to get as far as I can before we need to rest for the rest of the evening, especially these horses. I know this rain is terrible, but as you do leave Daraloon, the road goes back to a muddy, sloppy mess as the rain has made the main part of the way of the Manticore pretty muddy, as the rest of the road is not a paved cobblestone road leaving Daraloon. So it takes some time to get away from the city to the point where it's lost to the horizon in the darkness. You barely can make out some of the lights that might be shining from those spires off in the distance, or maybe on top of the walls that surround Heirloom. But about an hour's time passes before Zan speaks up again. What should we do? Find a place off the road and talk to our new friend? Or just keep going?
Has he awoke yet?
After about an hour, he doesn't seem to have woken up yet. And you can go check on him if you wish.
Yeah, I'll check on him.
Okay. You go check and make sure you hop onto the caravan and look behind the seat. And while you're standing up, you're fairly tall, so you don't need to worry about climbing up to the top. He's laid there, bound, tied, but currently doesn't seem awake.
Why don't we, believe we can wait till we make camp.
I would definitely like to get some rest. That caster hit me pretty hard.
Zan agrees. Yes. They whacked me with quite a few rocks. Little bastard creatures.
I know what that feels like. And I rub the back of my head.
He kind of looks over and smiles. Are you all right?
Oh, I will survive.
Wow.
Indeed you have. The rest of you are okay?
I'm fine.
Yes.
Well,
I say a few more hours then and find a place, or if we see someone somewhere along the way, we stop.
Very well.
You see Zan he focuses for a moment as if he's trying to recall something. I believe there was a hold or something. About a day's travel from Daraloon, but I don't remember anything between there and here. So it might be wilderness until then.
I think it kind of feels good to be back. City's a little too crowded for me sometimes.
Stifling.
I had a great time. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
He smiles. It sounded like you had a great time in there. They were chanting your name, Belkin. Tell me, what was
Everybody
going
does.
on?
You know, we'll drinking, we'll gambling. Just people having a good time.
I thought I was supposed to be the distraction.
You all made some money,
Did
I
very
assume.
well, Belkin.
I'm sorry, what?
You all made some money, I assume.
Of course.
Indeed.
Corvin kind of raises eyebrows. Any money made not so fairly? Kind of smiles.
Fair is subjective.
I would have to agree with Belkin.
That's true, I guess.
But nobody suffered.
Didn't leave a trail of bodies then. Just empty pockets.
Well, mostly the house. Lost. Mostly.
Done then. I am curious about that one, he says as the rain continues.
Yeah, how come we're keeping this one?
I just wanted to see why
They
you
wish
attacked
to
us.
question him.
I will kind of grab him and pull him maybe to the side where you can kind of see his face, and I'll look to Belkin and Kaz and say, do you either of you recognize him at all, you think, from the tavern?
Roll a perception check
Okay.
as you're
yeah.
pulling them over. Corvin. Roll a perception.
Oh, me?
Yep.
5.
Okay. Yeah, you pull him over. His face is sopping wet. Just the rain's pouring from his bald head. Did you remove all his armor from him? I know you took the helmet off. He doesn't have the dagger on him. Did you take the spell components from him?
Would have thrown the spell components away,
Okay.
and removed his armor.
Okay. So underneath his armor, there are some loose-fitting, just normal, like black and gray clothing and pants underneath shirt. But other than that, there's nothing else there beyond just the holy symbol that he was carrying.
Did you two maybe see him in the tavern?
Does not
Check
appear
for
to
that?
be like.
You don't recognize him.
No.
That was just one of my thoughts that maybe, I mean, they would have had to get prepared very quickly if that was the case, but saw you winning.
Yeah, I definitely see why you would think that. But sorry, I don't recognize him.
No, that's all right. Just checking.
The establishment itself was full of an alternative filthy brigand. Not that of a
Yes.
cultist, but of nobility.
Yes, most of them in there probably didn't even care that they lost their money
No, that's why I don't think. If I don't feel that bad.
or the amount of money you won is really nothing to them, but worth a thought.
Yes, look at change to them while those around them starve and suffer.
Don't say that word. Oh, a Woking will hear you.
Yes. Masochist's favorite word. Suffering. Speaking of, thank you, Lokian.
What?
What? Said thank you, Lokian.
Oh. Simply doing my job.
You'll be paid
And-
well for it once we get back to and get this prisoner home.
Very much looking forward to that.
But now we got 2 prisoners, and we're only gonna pay for 1. That's bullshit.
We only need to arrive with one.
Yes, this one's temporary.
Unless this one has a bounty on him somewhere that we don't know of.
That is true.
But who am I to say? And Zan just kind of smiles. He looks back to the guy and just sneers. You kind of get the feeling that he wants to just toss this guy as well.
We need to we'll find out what we need from him and then send him on his way.
Yes. Send him on his way.
On his way indeed.
He still has a large bloody wound in his stomach, but Lokian, with his divine magic, closed the wound enough to keep it from bleeding continuously. Another hour or so passes before some outcroppings of trees in this hilly area that you're slowly traversing on an incline to a more elevated as you approach or are approaching the mountain range, or the southern part of the mountain range that's between Cormier and Symbia. Trees, there's a number of outcroppings of trees, and Zan calls out believe we should stop somewhere up here ahead. These trees and call it a night. The horses need rest.
We
Sounds like
will,
a plan.
send
I'm
Tom
ready
away
to
to
rest.
scout the area.
Okay. The owl takes off and looks up ahead as the caravan. Somewhat difficult to traverse the muddy road, so it's a little bit slower than normal. Go ahead and make a perception check for the owl or yourself if you're looking through her eyes.
Is 18.
All right. Within the outcroppings of trees, you find a portion of the outcroppings of trees that are fairly tall pines that cover much of the area, keeping some of the rain out of the center of the small, the rather large outcropping here. So if you can get the caravan in there, it'd probably be a good spot to make camp for the evening.
There is a suitable canopy with protection of the rain this way.
Zan nods and asks for you to point the direction as he's guiding the caravan that direction.
Lead the way.
Yep. You do notice there is a path that kind of goes off in that direction from the main road, but it doesn't look like it's been traveled. With that perception check, the muddy road doesn't look like there's any muddy footprints or anything like that that goes to that outcropping of trees. But he guides the caravan there. It starts to get stuck at some time, but with the help of Corvin and the group of you pushing it along, it continues and doesn't get completely stuck. And Zan pulls into pulls into the outcroppings of trees and says this should be good, and hops off and begins to manage the horses. Make camp as best you can, rest and as well enough. The horses are going to definitely need some rest as we push them pretty hard. And he looks over to the caravan where the fire kind of scorched the side of one of the wagon wheels. I may need to do some repairs here. I'm not sure. I'll have to look. And you
Let
hear,
me know if you require a hand.
he nods. You hear on top of the caravan, Belkin, the individual on top, begins to stir.
Wakey wake.
He opens his eyes and looks over towards you.
Morning, buddy.
And he looks around where he is and the predicament he's currently in.
As he begins to look around, Corvin will reach up and grab him by the shoulders and yank him down
He
to the ground.
winces in pain as he's still fairly wounded.
And just kind of throw him in the slop.
With a wet splat. It's the earth. You hear shuffling of chains from the back of the caravan.
Corvin will then unsheath his sword and kind of stick it in the ground next to him. Looks like you're in quite a pickle, my friend.
He just sits there and watches you.
Did that noise come from the other prisoner?
Yes.
The rattling? Okay. I'll go check that out then.
Alright. She's up against the side, trying to peer through some of the cracks of the canvas to watch what's going on.
Who are you?
He kind of see his tongue kind of roll around in his mouth for a moment. Then he spits out a large bit of coagulated blood, possibly some fresh.
Are you not feeling talkative?
He doesn't say anything.
If not, we could just kill you and be done with it. I will kind of bend down and put my fist right in the wound that I made.
Okay.
And kind of press down hard.
He winces in pain as you do. Go ahead and roll intimidate.
Okay.
Intimidate check. I'll give you advantage as he's pretty wounded and everything, and where he is, it's a difficult spot for sure.
24.
Okay.
Noise.
I keep rolling very appropriate rolls. Like the ones I'm good at, I roll really
Yeah.
well. And the ones I'm bad at, I roll so bad.
He's in his pain. He does cough up. What do you want to know?
Why did you attack
Blood
us?
kind of still pooling from his mouth.
I'll say, why did you attack us? And then I will kind of take some weight off of the wound. Give him reprieve.
It's apparently you pissed somebody off.
And I'll turn and look toward Kaz. That doesn't
We'll be
surprise
not paying
me.
attention.
Who would not be paying attention?
He's not paying attention.
Do you know this man that we pissed off?
No.
Did you see him?
I was given the task to attack a caravan.
Did you see the man that gave you the task? Did you meet him in person?
I mean, our leader.
Your leader. What does he look like?
He just shakes his head.
What does he look like? And I'll press down again.
Ugh.
I just want to give you a look, and I'll point towards Lokian. See that man, that Furbolg over there? He doesn't like to see people suffer. He is your only hope at this point to survive. If you don't give me what I want, you're not going to get a chance with him.
So
I'm
you
gonna
give
do
me a
what needs-
word that I'll survive if I tell you and give you information, right?
Yes,
He smirks at your answer.
of course.
And you agree? He's calling out to Lokian.
You will receive the healing needed to walk away from this situation.
So, what will it be?
Well, I don't think you understand what you're getting yourself into. Sure, I'll tell you.
All right.
He looks down at himself, the wound, no armor, bound. Where's my symbol?
We took it.
He smiles. Then
We know.
They already know then. It's only a matter of time. Give me my symbol, and I will leave.
Any other questions before we let him go?
Oh, boss's name.
Boss's name. Description, if you could.
She has many heads. He
All right.
smiles.
Any other questions? All right. I take my blade and I bring it down on his neck.
Oof.
Killing him.
His head rolls.
All right. And then I will grab the two pieces and drag him out of the camp.
How far do you bring him?
I mean, probably a ways. Probably like good 50, 60 feet. I mean, enough to get it just away from the camp.
Away from
so
the
not-
camp itself, okay.
Yeah.
Do you do anything else beyond just throwing it in mud?
No. Probably not.
Savage. I love it.
I would. I mean, no, I won't.
Okay.
Maybe if I can find a pretty sloppy part, like that looks like you might sink into it a little, I'll throw it there. But that's about it.
If you're looking for something specific, go ahead and roll survival to see if you can
I
find
mean-
a nice little dirt hole.
I'm not necessarily looking.
Okay, there's nothing
I-
like really nearby, out
Okay,
of like
then
in the middle of nowhere, just screaming at you that this is a giant muddy hole.
I'll just find a spot, kind of hidden, some bushes or whatever.
Some bushes between some trees. That's fine.
and I'll
Loki,
walk back.
may I see that symbol of Tiamat for a moment?
I didn't know I had it, but sure.
Cast
I'll hand it to
cast down. I'm gonna cast Identify on it.
Okay. So there is a minor enchantment on the holy symbol. It's a
Yeah.
divination to be able to, it's a to be able to scry the current location of that object.
Oh boy. It's a GPS.
Going to call Tomoe and have her take the symbol and begin flying due east of here.
Right.
500 feet or so, and just drop it off in a river somewhere.
Okay. So she will take it and fly off to the east, back towards the heirloom. And the rest of you may camp for the evening.
I'm gonna go up to Kaz and kind of get in his face a little and be like, I'm pretty sure those guys came after us because of the guy at the bar. Kind of angrily.
The man
Neither
that
one
walked
of
out,
us can make
Zan
it.
says.
Yes.
Oh. Poor baby had his feelings hurt.
Yes. But now we may have a whole cult chasing us. So I want to reiterate, careful what you do. Again, I don't care about your well-being necessarily. I care about the group's well-being and our mission. Just think before you act. And at least do it sneakily.
Is
And then
this
corp-
is this one of the
Sorry.
people you've stolen from?
Oh.
He's looking
No.
to you and Belkin.
I stole his wine right in front of his face.
I mean, I'll give it to them. He was a pissant. Like, he's just a turd in general. But, and he deserved it. But that doesn't mean we just need to risk what we're doing here.
I understand your anger, Corbin, but I think a cult would have better things to do than take vengeance upon a guy who spilled wine on some rando guy.
I mean, I think you could ask your friend over here.
I guess that depends
Nobility.
on the cult, Zan says. But what cult is this?
Oh,
Cult
sorry,
of
I
the dragon.
assumed we told everybody.
Cult
Yeah,
of the
I
Dragon.
know.
What is
Nobility can be pretty petty at times.
I can agree with that.
Share with them what information I know.
Okay.
Varyingly, like, very high level.
So the Cult of the Dragon is somewhat of a secretive cult, and they try to plant themselves in any sort of areas of power as possible. Roll a knowledge history for anyone that wants to.
I always roll the histories.
I do not.
I usually try to partake in things I'm proficient in.
Same here.
Me too.
History of 17.
Yeah, you've heard of the Cult of the Dragon. They have somewhat of a large network, though it's hard to cut them out and find them, root them out, as they dive deep into basically any and all, nobles, anything from nobles to, pirates on the high seas to even small tribes off in the middle of nowhere to try to expand Tiamat's influence. And their main goal is to gather as much power as possible and also bring Tiamat to this world, as well as create Dracoliches to rule over Faerun. That's their main goal.
That's crazy.
Just a great group of people.
Great.
Really.
Yes.
Super nice guys.
Wonderful.
Super nice.
So wherever they can get power, coin, influence, they do. So they take on just about any job.
Mm. So I assume that man at the bar maybe didn't, and not necessarily part of this cult, just knew of them and hired them.
I mean,
That is certainly a possibility.
maybe he didn't even know the group was Cult of the Dragon.
Yeah, I guess that's a glue is on here.
But either way, I think we just made an enemy, and I think we should be prepared for that.
Or he was small fry, no one cares.
I think even if it's a small fry, people don't like others attacking their organization.
They did have the small lizard creatures, but also having a spellcaster, that's not too lightly.
Yeah. It's also about respect. I mean, people going around killing your cultists, even the smallest of them, people aren't gonna take that lightly. We just need to be prepared.
Yes, I agree. As soon as we can, we should leave. Hopefully, Zan looks to the sky as rain stops and the road dries out a bit.
Yes.
And Zan, he has his lantern obviously on the front of cart, but he opens his door and sits inside. Does change his clothes to some drier attire, but doesn't actually rest. He just sits there.
I'm gonna sit atop the caravan and enter my hours of meditation.
Okay. Here in the outcropping of trees, you still get wet, but not as wet as you would on the side of the road somewhere. So still you have drops of rain hitting you from time to time, but not the heavy rains that are currently going on. Another roll of thunder off in the distance as you all, one by one, find rest as best you can in the place that you set up. Whether you do fire or not, that's on you. But Zan stays up and says, I don't think I can rest tonight, so I'm going to stay awake. And he leans back in the caravan on his cot that's in there, which looks actually rather comfortable, as it's kind of has a number of pillows and things inside. Takes out a bit of food and a water skin, or wine skin in this case currently. Begins to drink, eat a bit, and relax as best he can. Go ahead and roll it. Corvin, go ahead and roll an insight check as you're at the front of the caravan speaking with him. And anyone else that's there also can. That's talking to Zan.
4 with a natural 1.
Okay. Yeah, this is unusual for him to stay awake, because normally he's the first to rest, but other than that, you're not quite sure.
After speaking to him for a little while, I'm gonna go over to Alokian.
Okay.
I'm gonna sit down next to him.
Alokian, where are you setting up for the evening?
I will set up my own little space off to the side of the caravan, s- close enough to at least hear the prisoner.
Okay.
Maybe 10 or 15 feet off.
In a tent or bedroll or something?
Yeah, I would have set up a tent.
Okay.
Alokian, I wanted to thank you for helping me.
I will always be there to help. But you must understand how you conduct yourself doesn't always agree with my beliefs.
Oh, I know. I was gonna ask, what you thought about that? What should I have done?
If you knew all along that you were going to put him out of his misery, you should have done it quicker.
I had to get information. As much as
There
I
are
could.
ways to convince people without violence.
I often feel like it's the easiest way. But I'm sure you're right.
I will
think-
pray for you tonight.
I think if I hadn't done it, one of the others would have.
Then I will pray for you all.
I have a question, Alokian.
Yes.
With your God, what do you believe happens after death?
I've never given it much thought. With my God, it's more about doing what you can while you're alive than what happens once you're gone.
So do you fear death?
I only fear long and painful death.
I see. Well, again, thank you for helping me. Despite our disagreements, I will also always have your back. And he'll kind of stand up and like grab him on the shoulder and pat him and then walk away.
So, before Lokian does try to rest tonight, he sets up his usual praying ritual. But inside his tent, no one would probably see, but he does take off his armor. He takes off his shirt, and he undoes the rather large belt that he has, which has studs on the end of it, and he wraps one end of the belt around his fist, and he starts doing self-flagellation. And there are scars, lots of scars on his back from doing this.
Is coming.
And the whole time he's thinking, he's trying to forgive himself and repent for letting that man suffer tonight before he died.
How intense is his ritual?
It lasts for several minutes, and it does draw blood.
My main question is, how much damage are you willing to take?
I would think at this point, after years of doing it, it probably does like 1 point, maybe
Okay.
2 points of damage.
I just don't know how far Alokian would take it, is my question.
Yeah, he suffers,
Okay.
but just enough to satisfy that repent that he needs.
Everyone around camp, go ahead and roll a perception check as you're setting up and preparing in whatever way you do.
Full meditation mode. So
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't think Corvin would be paying attention either. He'd probably have it in his tents with a light spell, and writing in his journal. Focusing.
I will the dosing.
Okay. Beyond the rain and everything else, can't quite hear thing beyond the flapping of wings as Tomaway approaches once again, landing shoulder canyon. As he rests. Straight. Dan, time to time, peers out of this place within caravan. A few hours later, the southern winds finally blow the clouds in the sky far enough away where it no longer rains. As the rain slowly let up that night. The stars don't come out again tonight, but everyone that does rest for the first time, even though it's been a long day and through the rain and everything that you've dealt with, highs and lows, you do get rest for the and till the next day approaches. So for tonight, I think that's where we'll end the session, unless anyone wants to do anything particular. Great job. I enjoyed this immensely. And everybody that's hanging out with us, thank you so much for joining us tonight. And have a great evening, and we'll see you guys on Monday. So, bye, stream.